Yeah. Welcome back to another episode of the Format Podcast Live. This is an unusual Monday night edition, but hey, we had the topics and we got the time, so let's get it, man. Joining me tonight is the host of the Opinion Stated podcast, my main man Q. What's good, Q?
What's good, Bruce? What's good, brother? Happy to be here.
Maintain. Yeah, no doubt. Well, let's get it, man. So we're on it in an unusual night. We're on it in an unusual time, but we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna kick in and we're gonna see what happens. We're gonna see who pops in. We're gonna see what type of love we get. And yeah, let's go ahead and get it. But before we do that, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna hit the spiel and then shoot the breeze a little bit, see who we get coming in the chat, and then we'll go ahead and get it started. We got some good topics tonight, man.
Yes, sir.
All right, let's hit the spiel. If you're watching here on YouTube, make sure you go ahead, click that subscribe, that like, that notification bell. Make sure you're kept up to date whenever we drop new content on the channel. If you want the audio-only version of the podcast, open up your audio podcast platform, hit the search bar, type in The Format Podcast. We should come right up. If you're enjoying the content, make sure you give us a like, leave us a 5-star review, and drop a comment. All that stuff helps us rise in the algorithm, helps us find more sports fans, helps more sports fans find us. Make sure you write it down, put it in your phone, make a note of it. The Format Podcast is live Sunday mornings at 10 a.m. Eastern. And finally, if you're really and truly enjoying the content we're delivering you, make sure you hit that join button. There's going to be exclusive content here just for you. All right, y'all, let's get it. So before we even get started on these topics, man, I want to go ahead and do what we always do and give a shout out to the channel members, man. So, of course, that shout out to the very first channel member, Laker Nation. What's good, Laker Nation? That's the host of the Be Ready Sports Podcast. And in order to be ready, you got to stay ready. That's the tagline of that podcast. And he does a great job over there, really taking the time to highlight the up and coming young athletes out there in the world of sports that, a couple years from now, who knows, we may be talking about those guys getting busy, man. He's had some outstanding soccer players, outstanding basketball players, guys really doing their thing, staying on the right path with the academics and putting the work in the gym to be outstanding ball players too. So shout out to Laker Nation. Shout out to It's Not That Serious. What's good? It's Not That Serious. Shout out to Chief Sid Bubba. Chief, what's going on? Shout out to you. Shout out to the boys from Annapolis. Anchors away, Chief. And finally, shout out to my main man, Baltimore, Bruce. What's good, Bruce? How you doing, man? There you go. Okay. What's good, Steve? King of the chat, my main man, Steve Splendor. What's going on? How are you? All right. So, we've got some pretty interesting topics tonight. So first, of course, as you see from the lineup, we're going to start off talking about the Thunder and how they got busy in game 2. I think a lot of people maybe got a little bit over their skis, maybe in terms of what the Pacers might be able to do after seeing game 1. Not saying the Pacers aren't good, not saying they won't be a challenge, but I picked them to lose this series 4-2. So we'll see what happens. Second topic, we're going to talk about who else? LeBron James and his never-ending ridiculousness on the Mind the Game podcast, and he said something even more absurd this time. We'll get to it. Next up, we got a couple of football topics because, well, we are football obsessed on this podcast, man. So we're going to talk about Jamar Chase and his recent commentary on his top 4, I guess his Mount Rushmore of wide receivers all time, which I don't know. I was kind of confused by that list, but we'll talk about it. Everybody's got a right to their opinion on their list, right? And finally, we are going to talk about the one and only, the record book destroying Lamar Jackson, quarterback of the Baltimore Ravens. So we got some good stuff tonight, man. And I'm so excited. My man Q is here to share it with me. So let's go ahead and get it rolling. Woodage was good, man. Good to see you. Woodage, yes, Celtic City was very good. Not as good as The Last Dance, that is correct, but it was still very good. But I mean, nothing's going to be as good as The Last Dance. That's Michael Jordan. Like, it's just, it's just a totally different animal. I heard that LeBron is, he's working on putting together one as well. I guess a Last Dance type thing. I would assume it's going to get released when he retires, right? I'm not sure, but I would assume that would be the case.
Bruce, what do you normally call your your warm up topics. You don't have any tonight. What do you normally
Quick
call
hits.
them?
Normally we call them quick hits, and
All right.
yeah,
So this is an impromptu quick hit right here, right?
yeah, let's do it.
So really quick to throw in. I was listening to, I believe it was the LeVar Arrington and those guys pod today.
Mm-hmm.
They were posing the question: is
Okay.
Michael Jordan still the face of the NBA? And
Yes.
man, his co-host was adamant that Jordan is still presently the face of the NBA. So that's a quick hit, man. What do you think?
No, I think absolutely he's still the face of the NBA. I mean, you can look at it as simply as look how excited people got when they heard that he was going to be part of the NBA on NBC broadcast team, right? Everybody was like, what? Mike's coming back? And, look how upset some people were about it. Your Nick Wrights, your Shannon Sharps, they weren't happy, right? But for the most part, a lot of people were super excited about that. And we also remember when we talk about face of the NBA, it's not just what you could do between the lines, right? It's how you move people, how you make people feel about the game, what you add to the game, how you help to expand the game, your ability to sell tickets and get people in front of a TV, right? And Mike still, all these years later, has that, right? For instance, you got, what is it? Michael Jordan still sells more sneakers than every active player combined. Mm-hmm. Like, how is that? You know what I'm saying? That cultural stamp is insane. So yes, Michael Jordan is absolutely still the face of the NBA. And I don't know that anyone's ever going to be able to take that mantle from him, because he's a dude that's not around a lot, but whenever he pops up, it's like, oh, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. He still has this, just based on The Last Dance, as you were bringing it up, like, well, it wasn't as good as Celtics City wasn't as good as The Last Dance.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what I mean? Man, it was Michael Jordan in there. So like, how can you top The Last Dance, right? And so still this mystique, this respectful, mystique that this dude still has, man, this allure, you know what I mean? This glow about him, you know what I mean, that just draws people and attracts people and gives him a level of, to use Stephen A's word, cachet that nobody else has, bro. It's marvelous, you know what I mean? Really, for me to have experienced his career and then his post-career, you know what I mean? And to see how he hasn't really been active at all in the speaking spaces, but took a crack at ownership and management in that sense. And still wasn't the best at that. But for that not to be a knock on him, it's just like that was another lane, you know what I'm saying? So a buddy of mine said to us a while ago, we were out watching the games, he said, that's because y'all like to make excuses for Jordan that you would never make for anybody else. You like to give him a pass on everything.
Oh my gosh. Yo, these people, man. Don't get me started, man. Don't get me started, Q.
I know, bro. I know. I just want to throw that in as a quick hit.
No doubt.
That's a good appetizer, man, to get you.
No, absolutely, man. That was a great appetizer, man. I appreciate that. Yeah, no doubt. Sure. Yeah, I hadn't planned any quick hits, man, because I wasn't even sure if I was gonna go live tonight, but I said, you know what, let's get it, man. I got these topics, and I don't know if they were gonna hold until Wednesday, so I said, let's go get it. Yeah. All right. So let's go ahead, man. Let's start with game 2 of the NBA Finals, right? And that is, obviously, we saw the Thunder bounce back in a big way. And after, the stunning loss in game 1, the upset loss in game 1, we saw them get back to their ways and be what they were, right? So I don't know if you saw the last episode where Transformer and I talked about what the Thunder needed to do to be successful in game 2. So I'll give a very brief synopsis and then I'll get your thoughts on it. Sure. I said a couple of things. I said they need Shai Gilgeous-Alexander to continue to get 30 points. He's going to get his 30 in his sleep. Then I said they need 15. They need 15 points and 8 rebounds from Chet Holmgren. He had 15 and 6. Then I said they need between 18 and 20 from Jalen Williams. He had 19, right? Yeah. I said if they get that, they'll win going away. Lo and behold, they get that, and they won going away. And I will tell you the surprise I didn't expect. They got 20 off the bench from Caruso. Yes. So that was really good. But stop it, Steve. What's going on, Chief Sid Bubba? You already got your shout out, but you missed it, man. But I appreciate you being here. But yeah, so with that said, they kind of got a little more help from the supporting cast, the auxiliary personnel on that roster. Give me your thoughts on game 2. What do you think was the key to that big bounce back from, obviously the stunning loss in game 1?
Yeah, so that's a bit of that's where I'm kind of going to offer like a bit of pushback, right? Like right
go
off
for
the
it.
bat.
Yeah, that's what's
Yeah,
up.
pushback right off the bat. I don't
Okay.
think that the one loss was as stunning
Okay.
because I didn't get a chance to create content for that particular day. But I was, it's customary to what I was doing through the playoffs. I was going to go, make a little content, post a video, and say I expected Indiana to take game one.
Okay.
Based on what they have been doing through the playoffs this season. And so I thought that if there was any game that they could steal, I had them losing the series ultimately in 6. But I counted game one as a game that they had to win in order to get to the 6 prediction, right? So I take one in OKC, and then maybe split these 2 going home, right, to get to the 2, make it kind of interesting, perhaps. But I think that my opinion about Indiana, even after having that thought that like they could still game one and then watching them do it, it changed a bit in the series. I don't think that clearly OKC won the game, right? So a bounce back win is like, well, they were supposed to win at home, right? And so I'm not really looking at it like I probably was thinking that I would coming into the playoffs. Like OKC's the runaway favorite to just take the whole thing. Now, do I still think that they are better than Indiana as a team overall, or that they should, based on what they did in the actual regular season this year? Yeah, man, they won 68 games or something ridiculous, right?
Right.
But what Indiana has shown is a different level of resilience and confidence in their ability and coach, bro, and the system that they run. And so it kind of shifted for me a bit to say, you know what, man, these folks had some. I mean, they knocked off some really, really good opponents to get to the finals. They didn't get lucky because everybody got hurt in their wake. This isn't one of those kinds of situations. You know what I'm saying? So I respectfully, I'm like, man, I think Indiana actually might be a little bit better than we've been giving them credit. You know what I mean, for being and are better coached as an organization. You know what I mean, as a squad than they've been getting credit for. You know what I mean? It's no fluke. Yeah, game one. The reality is, because I can hear people saying like, "Come on, Q, keep it real, bro." It's a 48-minute game for 47. 59.7 seconds they trailed in this game in game one, right? So that's the whole game except for the 0.3 mark where they took the lead to win the game. You know what I mean? With 0.3 of a second to go. And so was that impressive to me? Like, sure, because they came back and they won the game. But what was more impressive to me to go into game 2 is the chess match that Rick Carlisle played at the 4-minute mark in this game when they came back from down 15 with 4 minutes to go a couple times in these playoffs. I think that he knew that his team didn't have it, you know what I mean, from that standpoint in that game. And instead of it being a wave the white flag kind of a situation, I think it was a chess move, I say, because I think that he still wanted to reserve that bit of doubt in the head of OKC, like do they have that ability to come back again? Like, yeah, we stopped him from coming back this time. He pulled his guys before he got to that point. You know what I mean? So yeah, I just feel like I don't know that OKC took control of anything. You know what I mean? Like, it's a split at home, bro. So keeping it real, Indiana came into Oklahoma City and into this finals and did exactly what they were supposed to do, or what they were hoping to do, rather, right?
Yeah. Get one on the road.
OKC didn't do what they were supposed to do. You're supposed to or expected to win and protect home court. They didn't do that. You know what I mean? So the edge still goes psychologically, I feel like, to the Indiana Pacers, man. They need more. Halliburton laid an egg, you know what I'm saying? So that was horrible. He came on late in the fourth quarter, but you need more from your number one guy, you know what I mean, than that. Overall balanced effort, as you pointed out, from the Oklahoma City Thunder, you know what I mean, and all those auxiliary players. You know, definitely had a great game. Chet came out firing. Right off the bench, Caruso came in, man, to take care of business. And so that was really good to see. If there was a dark horse for that game, and, you know, a thing that tipped the scale, it literally was Caruso, like you said, the thing that none of us actually saw coming. Caruso's points, if you erase them, it's still a close game. Just take a big night away from Caruso. You expect Chet to have a good game. You expect Jalen Williams to have a good game. That's why you call it. It's so easy for you to call, and it doesn't sound like, Bruce, you're out of your mind. If you would have, I predict Caruso's going to drop 20 off the bench, everybody would have been like, come on, bro.
Right. Like, what are you thinking? Where are you getting that from?
Bro, right. So if you just remove Caruso's, and not just Caruso, because Case and Wallace, I believe, had a great game as well, correct?
I didn't see that.
Are you looking at the box?
No. It was Wiggins. Wiggins had 18.
Wiggins. It was. Case and Wallace game 1, but Wiggins game 2. So Wiggins hit some really big shots for him in game 2. And so that's another one where it's like, you when you have a deep team, as Oklahoma City does, you expect it. If these guys can just contribute, man, they're gonna, you know what I mean? Like, the team will be good. If somebody's having an off night, that's the thing. Somebody else is there to pick up the slack. But if you just remove those 2 big contributions from the bench, because those are stellar contributions from bench players.
Yeah, absolutely.
You remove those, bro, and we're talking about we're talking about a different outcome for that game. You know what I'm saying? So that for those reasons, as I look at, the Indiana team, I'm like, let me, like you said, some may have gotten ahead of their skis. I think from the opposite standpoint, a lot of people have gotten in over their skis, casting, a definitive, like, Indiana's going to lose this series. You know what I mean? It might be like,
I'm there with that.
Look at their track record so far this year. We're not talking about what they could do. It's like what they've been doing suggests that they deserve our respect to watch this series. And it's just I just kind of wanted to say that. It's like, as a little pushback, to be like, bro, I was ready to come on, you know what I mean, like last week and be all yeah. But I'm like, I don't know, bro. Like, let me not be so quick to just say that the scale is tipped in the favor of OKC because of what they did through the regular season, without giving respect to what Indiana has done through the postseason. Because that matters. Yep.
Well, let me push back on your pushback a little bit, right? So I had OKC originally at winning this 4-2, as I mentioned. And while I thought that Indiana would get one in OKC, I presumed that it would be game 2. I thought that would be, their bounce back. I thought that Oklahoma would have come out, set the tone in the series, but then Indiana would have stole one in game 2. Clearly, I had that backwards, right? The next thing is, you mentioned, Halliburton, and they need more from their number one guy. The question I would pose to you is, as much as he is kind of the engine, being the point guard, is he the number one guy? Do they have a definitive number one guy? Or is it Siakam, right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's one of those situations.
Yeah. I'm with that.
So you got that. Next up, something I noticed, and this is crazy to me. This tells you, or tells me at least, how good Oklahoma City is defensively, offensively, just overall, right? How many times are you going to be the team that you allow to have 7 players in double figures? That level of contribution across the board from the Pacers, 7 in double figures. It's unusual that you will be the team that's that well-rounded and has contribution coming from everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Right. And so that says to me, clearly, Oklahoma City is the superior team. And it's funny because I think the way they play, I think they were built, to beat the Celtics, right? I think they expected to play the Celtics in the finals, and that would have been the matchup. The last time they played was late in the season. They played in Boston on a Saturday night, and Oklahoma City beat them. And I think that team has been kind of constructed for that particular matchup. But Oklahoma City, man, they are really, really good. But my biggest thing is with Indiana, it's not even the players. I just have so much respect for Rick Carlisle and the outstanding coach he is. And we can't forget the guy's a champion. We can't forget that with Dallas, the guy beat the Heatles. He's always going to get credit from me for that. But, he beat them. He's a champion as a player with the Boston Celtics. So he knows what it takes to win. He's been around greatness. He understands this thing. You gotta give respect due to Indiana just by virtue of his presence. And I think I heard Mel on Man Down Sports saying when he was in Dallas, he actually wanted Halliburton. And, they went and got Luka, which I guess, turned out pretty well, right? But now he's in Indiana. He's got his guy Halliburton, and look how that's going, But, Rick Carlisle is the reason that I have so much respect for Indiana and granted them 2 games against, a clearly superior opponent in the Thunder. Right. And Now, could this go 7? Yeah, it could, but I just don't see it, man. I think OKC is too good. I think there is no answer whatsoever for SGA, like none. Even though not Neesmith, Nembhard has been playing great defense on all the really good guards that he ran up against in the East on the way to this championship series. But this is just a whole nother level. And SGA is cooking, and I don't think there's any way to stop him. And as long as he continues to get a little bit of production from some of these supporting guys, I don't think that OKC can lose this series. That's just my thought. That's just how I feel. And then to watch him come out and this time, get out to these big leads. And I got respect to Indiana is not a team that ever goes away when you have a big lead on them. But this time the Thunder didn't take their foot off the gas. They didn't let them back in the game, despite the fact that Indiana wouldn't go away. I think they were kind of shocked by that in the first game when they got out to big leads, but they couldn't really put them away. Every time they knocked them down, Indiana got back up. They said, okay, this time that's not going to happen, so I get it. But overall, man, big bounce back win, and this is kind of what we've come to expect from the Thunder throughout this playoff run and really throughout this series. Like this season. They don't typically lose back-to-back, and then when they come off a loss, they blow somebody out. So,
yeah.
Yes.
I can agree, obviously with the Carlisle point. And again, because I'm a realist, my thing was like, clearly Oklahoma City is the more superior team, So that's kind of like I said, I was already guns blazing coming into this series, like everybody else, to just, crown Oklahoma City this year's champs, But again, I have to go back and just kind of respectfully, because of Carlisle and because of the body of work that Indiana's been able to put together through this postseason, and say, man, let me give them a little more respect and actually tune in to just enjoy the series. But there's still some things that I can't see. It's just like, man, they got to win 4 games, obviously, to win the series. But, what kind of gets me is that I was thinking the same thing about New York. I was thinking the same thing about Cleveland. And I know Cleveland's a little different because you're talking about injuries, but, injuries are a part of the game, especially at this juncture of the season, Bruce. And I'm not wishing injuries on anybody because I want to see the best teams go up against folks. But you've been watching basketball as long as we have. That sometimes a little nagging injuries, little nicks happen during like these stages that can completely transform, a series. And while there is no answer for Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, man, the dude is just literally he's phenomenal. He's amazing. You know what I mean? In the mid range, and especially as long as they continue to allow him to get away with that push off, he's going to score his buckets, bro. He gets away with that push off more than anybody I've ever seen.
No, that's a lie. He does not get away with the push off more than anybody you've ever seen.
Who's that?
That guy in topic number 2. Nobody has pushed off more than him. Oh my God.
No, Shai's push off is ridiculous, bro. It is. I mean, clearly we've watched LeBron play a little bit longer, so I might have to agree with you. You know what I mean? Just by virtue of how many push offs LeBron throughout his 22, 23 almost. Have occurred, but Shai just every time down. It's almost pissing me off now as I watch it because he gets away with it so often. I'm like, bro, come on, bro. Like,
you're really gonna make me pay attention to that. I can't believe I haven't noticed that. Maybe it's because I like him as a player, so I'm not looking for it. I'm gonna be looking for it
because it's so subtle. As a basketball player, you don't really need much. You know what I mean? Of a push with that extension of that forearm to get an advantage as you catch up off balance. It's just like when a player's airborne. Right. If you just touch a player who's airborne, you could send them. You know what I mean? It really doesn't require much. He's so crafty with it, and it's so smooth that's why people don't notice it. And when you see it, you won't be able to unsee it. And
Right.
Why you point that out? Because he just does it so often, bro. But I love his game to the point that I even brought him up to say is that there is no answer for a guy who is as skilled as he is, as gifted as he is, and who has worked his mid-range skill set. You know what I mean? Like as much, you could tell he's put in so much work. And so there's nothing that you could really do to stop Shai. Shai's not the problem. Going back to my point, Oklahoma City benefited largely from the bench production in this last game. And so when I give respect to that, Even though Chet had a great game, Jalen Williams had a great game, even though they went back to their double big lineup in a few instances in this game where they flashed. That double big lineup showing rather, Chet having a good game, J-Dub having a good game.
Right.
Still didn't do enough for me to be like, man, they smoked these. I mean, a blowout to me is anything more than 10 points. But I'm still saying 16 point. The Pacers stayed in it relatively throughout the game. So I'm still saying there was no real show of dominance there. They come out like after the Denver loss and won by 34, 40 points, and I was like, damn, like they are who we thought they were. You know what I mean? Maybe they'll overwhelm the Pacers, but the Pacers still just look so.
They're comfortable at whatever.
It's not even even. I don't even think they're an evenly matched team. I just think they match up well against Oklahoma. And for that reason, the same things have to apply for Indiana that apply for Oklahoma City. If you get a great game from Miles Turner, you get a great game from Siakam, you get a great game from Halliburton where he's cranking on all cylinders. TJ McConnell comes off the bench playing like he does. Ben Mathurin comes off the bench playing like he does. These are guys that can score the ball. And so if you get point production from those who are expected to score, then and Nembhard and Nesmith as well as starters, right? Contributing offensively. Then that's the same thing, bro. It's like a lot of players who kind of cancel out other players on both sides of the ball. You know what I mean? Like to be like, oh, well, you get 16 from him, just get 16 from him. You know what I mean? Like if Chet got 16, as long as you get 16 from Miles, you good. And it's like, that's true. And, but again, I have a lot of respect for it. And you have to have respect for Rick Carlisle, like you said, because we watched Rick Carlisle not take down the Heatles with lesser. And even as I say lesser, I kind of I feel like I'm disrespecting Jason Kidd.
Right.
Up a very good point by saying that Carlisle actually won at Halliburton. And it made me think just in that moment when you said it, bro, I was like, damn, as a model for the kind of player that Jason Kidd actually was, it is Halliburton, bro. Except
that's a
Halliburton
great point.
More of an outside shot, as ugly as it is, than Jason Kidd did, bro. So he's actually a Rick Carlisle kind of a player, bro. So it totally makes sense that they could.
I think I lost. I
would be like, wow, because we have such high expectations, such lofty expectations for Oklahoma City. But it wouldn't surprise me any, bro, based on Rick Carlisle and the way that he's had these boys playing through the postseason.
Yeah. They talk about how much of a savant Rick Carlisle is with the X's and O's and drawing up things. And Isaiah Thomas was talking about how he ran a triple stack. Something that we have not seen in I don't know how long. Like, so he's going to do stuff that's going to throw Oklahoma City off of, what they do defensively. So, I mean, shout out to Rick Carlisle, man. I have a lot of respect for him, obviously, like I said, being a Celtic, of course. And then even beyond that, just what he was able to do with Dallas against Miami in a series that he was, the heavy underdog. And so always respect due for that. But yeah, definitely got to give a shout out for that. But just watching what OKC is capable of when they play, how they can play. And guess what's the scary thing? OKC didn't play their best ball the other night either, right? They didn't even do that. So it's like, man, if they play their best ball, they're going to destroy these dudes, man. It's going to be it's going to be ugly. So
that's what I feel like is a caveat, though, Bruce, is because I agree with you 100%. Like, we haven't seen their best.
Right.
But we did see a game in game 2 where their best players actually contributed the way that you expect them to. So it wasn't one of those lockdown defensive games like a game 1 where they forced a bunch of turnovers.
Right.
But it was still a good, even contribution offensively from everybody in the squad, including the players off the bench. You know what I mean? A couple sprinkle in for good measure, right?
Right.
And so that to me is the reason that, you have to expect that, like, even for the other side of Indiana, you got to expect that you're going to get a 30-point game out of Halliburton one of these games.
Oh, yeah, you will.
And he's going to come play out of their mind one of these games. You know what I mean? Or maybe 2 of these games is the hope for them. And so that's going to happen. But in either game 1 or game 2, neither game 1 or game 2, did Indiana play their best basketball either. Like
that's true too.
Play, right? So again, that's why I said that's like the scale. Even as I've listened to other sports pundits talk about it, it's like all the things that you say about Oklahoma City, you kind of respectfully have to say that the same would apply for Indiana as well, bro.
That's fair.
Like Indiana, it's like, yeah, bro, but that's a good point. Neither has Indiana, you know. Then you say, well, Oklahoma City's the more superior team, and it's like, yes, that's what we think. You know what I mean? Based on a slew of evidence. But it doesn't negate the fact that what we've seen, again, as we talked about before we even start rolling, take talk a person out of what they've seen, man, and what you've seen if you watch this playoffs is some really good ball from the Indiana Pacers.
No doubt.
Put you on that.
Yeah. My final thing is I think I'll just say that remember that this Oklahoma City team statistically is like one of the best defensive teams in the last 15 years. So they are really, really good on that side of the basketball. So as good as Indiana is, when Oklahoma City is locked in, they can make it hell on you, just, trying to bring the ball up. And we've seen that already in multiple occasions, trying to get into their sets, this so far this season. Like, not this season, this series. It's interesting if you watch how many times that the offense is getting initiated and Halliburton doesn't have the ball. Like, he's your all-star point guard, and they're literally not allowing him to get the ball to start the offense. So I think that says a lot.
Yeah, bro, they're being disrupted. They're being disruptors. Like, their entire defensive, you know what I mean? Like, scheming and like, these guys totally understand where to be, how to be, and their recovery is so good. You know what I mean? Their recovery as a team is so good. The way that they help, slide into space. It reminds me of some of the best defensive teams that I've been on, like, years past, where it was just fun to press and to trap and to, because everybody, we were just all willing to sell out on the defensive end. It wasn't even really about scoring the ball because we knew we were going to score. Our thing was like, we just going to shut you down. We're going to shut you down. Anybody, we don't care who they are. You will not score. Coming into this gym, you're not going to score. You know what I mean? Like, I don't care what you average, bro. You're not scoring out on us. So how they play, bro, they're handsy. You know what I mean? Like, really active hands, all of them. You know what I mean? They slide their feet. But more than anything else, I love the way they try to fight, over picks or through picks, and then they just slide into space to help. But they definitely, you know what I mean, like, are not relaxing on the defensive end at all. So they're a really, really good defensive team. And even in saying that, it's like they haven't smoked Indiana yet. You know what I'm saying?
So, and I'll just say, I think a big part of them being so good defensively is the youth. And when you're that young, you have the legs to really consistently lock in on defense and shoot the gaps and try to get in the passing lanes, but still get back to your assignment. And, like, a lot of times with the older teams, they're not as good defensively because they just don't have the same level of energy. When you're young like that, you could play D all night. So that's that. But right. Damn, can't say nothing. Let's go ahead and we'll open up the phone lines. We will take where's my bad. We'll take a quick couple of calls on this topic, and then we will move on to the next one and have some fun with that. All right.
New season, brother. Get the flip-flops ready, man. Get that pedicure action in.
Right.
What's
season. Going on, Sneed, SMT Media Network? What's going on? Salam, my brother. How are you? Let's go 904-219-8264. 904-219-8264. I know we already talked about game 2 on Sunday with Transformer, but if anybody missed that and wants to call in and give their thoughts on game 2, let's go ahead and do it before we move on to the next topic here. It's not that serious. You're absolutely right, man. That team is kind of frail. Not Lou Dort. Lou Dort looks like a linebacker out there. He's the only one that does not need to build muscle, but it's a different game now. Dudes.
Lou needs to share his workout regimen with everybody else, man.
I know, right? For real. That's no joke. But okay. It looks like I don't think we're gonna get any calls on this particular topic. So let's go ahead and we'll move to the next one. Let me see if we got any more comments on that. All right. Okay, guys, let's do it. So next up, man, this guy, he just Q. This guy just doesn't stop, man. The sheer amount of ridiculousness that we hear from LeBron James is really wild, right? So this is something I've said multiple times on this show, and even before the Mind the Game podcast started with the first season with JJ Redick, right? I don't know if you saw that episode or whatever, but one of the first things I said was, this show is not going to be, it's supposed to be about X's and O's and about basketball. I said, it's not going to be that. It's going to be another LeBron propaganda tool, right? Because if we go back and we watch, last season they did some X's and O's stuff, but it seems like this season they're doing even less of that, right? But all it is a LeBron glaze session, right? All it is some way for LeBron to literally glaze himself. I didn't know that was possible. and for the other members, the other people that are on the show, namely Steve Nash, and I guess they brought Luca along for some this time. Yeah, for real. Shout out Charles, Steve. Get the honey. Run it up and down the hallway, slap at each other with honey, knock it over tables and twerking. You right? It's insane, man. But so yeah, this is like, this show is for nothing but to push LeBron propaganda, and I'm like, come on, man. You're not even keeping to what the point of the show was. I mean, you tell us that we don't appreciate the modern NBA because we've never been taught how to watch and enjoy basketball properly. Really? LeBron, I'm older than you. I was watching ball long before you were hooping, bro. Like, come on, man. Like, the disrespect is wild. Now, am I sitting here saying that I know more about basketball than LeBron James? No. I'm absolutely not saying that, right? No, I'm not saying that. That said, just because I don't see it how you see it, and just because I have the benefit of having watched multiple eras, right? I started watching basketball in the 80s. So that means 80s, 90s, 2000s, 2010s. This is now my 5th decade watching the NBA, right? Like, wow. Come on, man. Come on. Stop. You don't get to tell me because I don't agree with the way you and a lot of the people in your generation played this game that I haven't been taught how to, watch the game properly. What are your thoughts on those comments and my general supposition that this show was all about and has been for, the first season and now this season pushing the LeBron propaganda? Where are you on that, Q?
Yeah, so in fairness, last season, I guess, I watched, like quite a few of the episodes because I didn't want to be, I didn't want to be that guy. It's like, man, I'm not
right. And I did. Right. I did too.
And so for that reason, I gave some time to look at least 3-4 episodes before I was like, bro, I can't do this, and stomach any more of it. And I honestly have not looked at any of it this season. But I can say from the 3 episodes in full that I watched last season, I appreciated we're sick of how basketball is being spoken of in the mainstream media, how there is no real breakdown of the sport and no teaching of the sport and, ways of understanding the sport a little bit deeper or from the player's perspective. And so we're going to do that here on Mind the Game. And I was like, oh, well, that is fresh. So let me tune in. And so I did some of the X's and O's conversation, from the clips that I've actually seen from this season, like you allude to because I haven't watched it. Well, you've verified that's not happening this season. So what happened to the X and O conversation? Now it is a literal glaze parade. All the clips that are glaze parade, bro. I'm like, bro, what is going on here? You know what I mean? And it's not. I mean, I'm not above anybody talking themselves up proudly. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, look, dude, I get it, bro. You accomplished something that's amazing, and you want to tell people about it. Man, trust me, I'm certain I rub a lot of people the wrong way talking about my business and my show. And like, 9 years, bro, we doing this thing. You know what I mean? I know people hate to see me coming sometimes like this motherfucker. That's all they talk about is this business, and because I'm proud, right? So I understand that. But at the same time, I don't embellish the facts. I don't stretch the truth. You know what I mean? When it comes to what, and I'm not out to make myself look better than anybody else who's entered the industry that I've been in or who has helped to prop up the industry that I'm in by making what I'm doing sound like or making them sound inept. You know what I mean? As a result, nor am I ridiculing attendees of the show. Who maybe dislike it. I'm like, well, you
people who literally put money in your pockets, Q. Those people who literally put money in your pocket.
Right. It's like y'all just haven't been taught how to appreciate the entertainment that I'm providing on a basis. Like, what is that, bro? Like, if they're not, they don't like it. I gotta tweak. I gotta do some things. We gotta change some stuff. I can't be like, it's y'all fault. So it's weird. But yeah, I guess I like, you know what I mean. To your point, I feel like it's just a propagandist machine to push and spin narratives. I remember when you've said it a couple of times, just to further push the LeBron narrative, and you know, to almost rewrite history in real time.
Crazy,
because there are a faction of people who, you know, just LeBron could do no wrong. What he says is like, of course that's right. And if you guys have a problem with it, you're just a hater.
You're a hater.
Just kind of like, bro, now just take a step back from calling me a hater and understand things that I'm pointing out.
It can't.
But that he's lying or he's embellishing the truth. He's stretching the truth. And it's like, I understand what you're doing there, bro. Nice try. But so I can call that out without being a hater. And a lot of the clips that I've seen from this season are doing just that. You know what I mean? It's this retelling and rewriting of history, even the bag thing. You know what I mean? That I don't get a bag.
Tell them about that.
So I'm not even picking on I got 50 billion points, because that's hyperbole. We understand that. It's like,
right.
50 billion, we get that.
Right.
And the bag thing, you know, bro, you don't have a bag. You know what I'm saying?
He knows that. He knows that.
And it's okay that you don't have a bag, because the point is, is that you're still the all-time leader scorer in NBA history, and we respect it. It's dope. But don't try to claim that somehow we're looking at it wrong to say that you don't have a bag when you do not have a deep skill set. I mean, an extreme, broad arsenal of that you can go to get a shot anytime you want it, any way that you want it. And so just like Gilbert Arenas there earlier had the audacity, bro.
I haven't watched that yet. I saw it. I put it on my watch list.
Save yourself some time, because I was just annoyed listening to him suggest that no great has ever had a bag. And
that's what he said?
Yeah, bro. I was like, come on, bro. Like,
wait, that was his argument?
Yeah, bro. Bro, you see this jersey hanging over my head here? Tell me I gotta have a bag? It's weird, bro. So I just What happens when you have the Mind the Game podcast that you're getting us to subscribe to and listen to is this little weird retelling, and Gil's Arena and some of the others are just weird retelling of a little twisting of a reality and a truth that then people start running with. It's like, yeah, because ain't no great ever had one of y'all. Expect LeBron to have one. Jordan to have a deep bag. He got to his move 2, 3, 4 tests. Like, bullshit. That man had a bag. A bag, bro. I saw it. You can't tell me that he did not have it. I saw it, bro. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, it's just the propagandist machine, bro. And LeBron knows what he's doing.
Oh, my goodness.
Purposely on my channel, I've been boycotting doing episodes on this cat because I'm just sick of talking about him, bro. Because I know that he knows what he's doing. He knows
what he's doing. He absolutely knows what he's doing.
I'm not feeding his boy.
So, right. So before we get into his latest slides, let me respond to the whole bag piece, right? And I was debating this with Edward earlier, right? Shout out Edward in the chat. So my thing is this, right? To your point, the guy has scored by far the most points in the history of the game. So credit due for that. Like there's no getting around that, right? Cool. That said, and this was my argument, for the level that he's supposed to be on, for the all-time great offensive players, he's got the worst toolkit. Like he's just missing things. Like all you have to do is watch this dude play, like seriously, right? His footwork is poor. His balance is off when he shoots his jump shot, which is why it took so long for him to get a consistent jumper. Like just look at his body. His body's like always in this weird off-balance position, right? Like when you watch the great shooters, they're squared up, but LeBron is always like fading somewhere to the left or to the right. Like he's never quite right? That's why when he does that stupid like look down at the ball anyway. But the point is, I don't know if he tried to make that his go-to, whatever. But the point is, when you look at him commensurate with the other all-time great scorers and players, it's not close, right? So let's look at this. Does he have a better offensive toolkit than Hakeem? No. We know the answer is no. Does he have a better offensive toolkit than Kobe? We know the answer is no. Does he have a better offensive toolkit than Carmelo? No. We know the answer is no. Does he have a better offensive toolkit than KD? The answer is no. Does he have a better offensive toolkit than Michael Jordan? The answer is no. Does he have a better offensive toolkit than Larry Bird? The answer is no. Yeah. Like, when you look at the other all-time greats, like, it's not there. It's missing. And that's fine once more, because at the end of the day, he can look and say, yeah, but I scored more points than all them dudes, right? And I got 4 chips. And I've been to the finals 10 times, which if it was me, I wouldn't say I've been to the finals 10 times and I lost 6, but whatever. I mean, apparently that's okay now. But it's a thing. Losing does not matter anymore. So no, Edward, it's not about, Jesus Christ, are you listening? It's not about whether or not the game looks sexy. Pause. That has nothing to do with it. It's simply about the fact that, to Q's point, what he said earlier when he opened up the soliloquy about the bag, when you have that, you're able to get to a shot anytime, right? So you hear someone say Michael Jordan didn't have a bag. No, Michael Jordan didn't need to dribble 132 times back and forth between his legs and lull the defender to sleep like James Harden. The best offensive players are the guys who dribble once or twice and can get a shot off and score. Those are the absolute best offensive players, right? And then those same players, if they need to, they can go to something else if they have an elite defender that can stay with them, right? Kawhi Leonard has a better offensive toolkit than LeBron James does. Like, all these guys have better offensive packages, than LeBron James. And that's not a slight. I don't know why he has to take that in. Well, I know why. He's a very insecure dude. It's obvious. But the point is, it's all right, y'all get what I'm saying with this bag thing. I'm getting irritated, but what my main point is that whole bag thing, I don't know why he felt the need to say that, but you know what? I'm not mad, because I can be petty myself. So, LeBron doesn't have a bag, but I got 50 billion points. You know what, LeBron? Shout out to you. Matter of fact, and I'm being serious, yes, you have tons of points. You are by far the most prolific scorer in the history of the game. So shout out to you for that, LeBron. Yes. But you're back. Seriously? All right. Anyway. So let's get back to what we were talking about. So you pushed me down that rabbit hole with the bag thing, Q. But so we're talking about how this whole business of the Mind the Game podcast is nothing but one big propaganda arm for LeBron and his crew or whatever, right? So I think it was the most recent episode, he's talking about how he never got involved with his kids' coaches. So I'm trying to look at this a couple ways, right? Is he saying very specifically, I never got involved with my kids' coaches, or is he saying I never got involved with, my kids' development as basketball players? Like, I'm trying to figure it out, because LeBron we know he's very smart and very careful with the way he parses his words. Would you agree with me on that, Q?
Yep.
Right. So even though we catch him lying a lot, he's also a dude that can say, well, that's not what I said. I said this, right? But we know we know what that is, right? But anyway, The point is, Young Disciple, what's up, Young Disciple? Appreciate you in the chat, man. The reason it's important is because this dude that so many people worship consistently demonstrates low character. At the end of the day, if you're constantly out here lying publicly, you're consistently demonstrating low character. That's the problem. And this is somebody that kids look up to, and unfortunately a lot of grown men look up to, and it's bad, right? And this is somebody that the media constantly lies about, the mainstream media, talking about this, that, and the third. But at the end of if you want to come out here and lie, and you want to come out here and use your show as a propaganda arm, you're putting it out there. Not you, but LeBron. I have a right as a content creator. I have a right as a trained and credentialed journalist to come out and say, yo, this is not the case. So that's why it's important, because I want it to be. And this is my show. That's why. But in all seriousness, this guy is, I don't understand. So he says that, he never got involved with his kids' coaches. So we're going to listen to the clip. It's about a minute and a half, and we'll jump in a couple spots, and then we can come back and talk about it. So, all right, let's check it out.
I've never got involved with my kids' coaches.
Mm-hmm. That's for them.
from Bronny growing up to where he is now, and Bryce.
Okay, see, so lying out the gate, right? So we know he got Darvin Ham fired so he could bring in JJ Redick, right? So JJ Redick could be, basically puppet on a string in terms of dealing with Bronny, right? So, all right, let's continue.
On his way to Tucson, to Arizona, I've never got involved. So
he says he never got involved, right? But we know for a fact, because it's been put out there by Kendrick Perkins, it's been put out there by Tim Hardaway Sr., that's how Bronny James got on the McDonald's All-America team, right? So, this stuff is easily debunkable, right? Is debunkable a word? Let's say we can easily debunk these things that LeBron says because it's all out there. And I truly believe that this is a dude that subscribes to no such thing as bad publicity. Why? Because everyone is still talking about the dude, right? And so he's like, yo, as long as my name stays in the cycle, we're good. So, all right, go ahead.
Went to a practice and sat through practice the whole time to see how my son was being utilized. I never got on the phone with the coaches. Listen, he's there. Coach my son. Coach him however you want to. And I think you need to hold him accountable. I hope you hold him more accountable than any other kid here. Yeah.
So hold my son accountable. Okay. But when Stephen A said what he said, he ran up on him ready to fight. Or not ready to fight. Let me not say that, because he didn't make any physically threatening gestures or, he didn't accost the man. But he ran up on him with a profane tirade, right? We saw that. I did a number of shows, 2 hours apiece, discussing and breaking all that stuff down. So hold my son accountable, but you actually don't want your son held accountable. And if you're LeBron, why would you want your son held accountable when you don't want to be held accountable? You, man, help me out here.
He's lying, bro.
40 seconds in and I'm totally lost. Help me out.
Nah, he's lying, bro. It's a really interesting thing that happens when a person starts talking.
Mm-hmm.
So, especially a pathological liar and a person who is so used to just embellishing, the kind of stretching the truth and embellishing a lot. If you just listen to him long.
I think I lost you, Q. Okay, I think Q froze up there, so we're gonna wait for him to get back. But yeah, it's I don't. It's like you listen to this guy talk, and the untruths are so consistent. It's crazy. It is crazy. What's up, Brandon? Brandon Bryce says, why is this a topic when there's a video of him walking the sidelines, yelling at the kids when they're playing as if he's the coach? And because he's LeBron, no coach is going to turn down his help. Oh, well, there you go. Well, there you go. Steve, you stupid. Steve says Clutch muted Q. Clutch acted and muted Q's mic. Oh my gosh, that's crazy. Okay, Q dropped out. I'm sure he'll be back in a minute. That is funny. All right. So anyway, let's go ahead and continue with LeBron's commentary from Mind the Game.
And say what the fuck you need to say, no matter how it's being said, because sometimes it's not. If you could just take the message, and not as about how he said it, just take the message out of it.
Okay, what does that mean? Somebody in the chat, please tell me what he means, when he says take the message out of it. Not how he says, but take the message out of it. Normally it's the converse, right? Normally it's, don't disregard how it's said, but take the message, because the message is what's important, right? So if somebody's coaching your son, isn't the message what matters? Like, why would you say take the message out of it? Is this you trying to sound intelligent and failing? Like, that doesn't make any sense. Please, someone help me here. Take the message out of it. What is the point of a message that has no message? Like I tell you, one thing that irks me is people trying to sound smart and failing. Like, just keep it simple. Don't try to sound smart if you can't get there, because what happens is you really end up looking dumb, and that's not what you want to do. It's not what you want to do. So yeah, that's kind of weird. Oh, okay, here we go. All All right, Q's back. What's up, Q? We lost you for a second, brother.
Call that man a pathological liar, bro, and they kicked me off the internet.
Right? Steve said, "Clutch, cut your mic, bro."
Man, they hit them people's up like, turn this home internet off immediately.
Right.
Get them out of here.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, what I was saying, bro, was, you know,
Yes.
when you can validate, when you, as I saw Young Disciple was good, brother, but saying, you know, that doesn't debunk anything and these kinds of things. It often might sound like folks are just kind of stretching and reaching to pick on this dude. But when the statements that he's making, you can just clearly look at, and now, like I said, this rewriting of history that I feel like he's trying to do through these things that he says on Mind the Game, you're like, bro, we have recent history that we can look right at that points to the fact that you have done and will do exactly what you're telling us that you don't do or that you wouldn't do. You called the McDonald's All-American people and made sure that Bronny was on that McDonald's All-American team. So that alone, even if I didn't have any suspicion that you would have conversation, what parent is not going to have? My dad was nowhere near as good a basketball player as I was. And if I sit here and tell you that my dad never talked to my coaches, bro, I will be a fucking liar. He talked to so you going to tell me that LeBron James ain't going to talk to his kids' coaches? Like, come on, bro. My dad would say, bro, you're not using them properly. Or why you letting them shoot so many jump shots? So that's my dad would say. Let him get down there. He's skilled down there. Let him do, you know what I mean? So, and he wasn't me. He couldn't play the game as well as I could. And so you're telling me that a guy like LeBron James ain't got no commentary. He has no input, no feedback for the coaches that are coaching his child. So even as I say all of that, Bruce, I'm going to say this and I'm going to give you the mic back.
Yeah.
The proof that goes against him saying as much is the fact that he wouldn't even let Bronny stay at USC. He wouldn't even let this kid stay at USC because he says, in his own words, he didn't think that Bronny could learn anything from the college game. So now you're telling us that you know better than the college coaches that would have been working with this kid. So what do you mean you don't have any input or you don't get in the way? You lying, bro.
It's too easy. Wow. Great point. Great point, Q. So Young Disciple says LeBron is saying disregard how it's being delivered, right? So let's go back. I went back a second. Let's go back and listen to what LeBron says again, because I know Young Disciple likes to protect LeBron, but that doesn't match up with what LeBron's saying. So let's hear it.
What the fuck you need to say, no matter how it's being said, because sometimes it's not. If you could just take the message, and not about how he's saying, just take the message out of it. I think that builds character as well. And I think it's part of the reason why they are where they are at their stages in their lives.
So he says, take the message out of it. I don't like, how is that saying disregard how it's delivered? He says, take the message out of it. The message is the most important part. Like, I don't get that.
No, he's saying for his instruction to his boys. So listen, doesn't matter how the coach is talking to you. Doesn't really matter if the coach jumps in your ass. Take his message, not the delivery of the message.
Oh, okay.
Right. I understand what he's saying with that. I agree with that.
Okay, I did not thank you for clarifying, because I really didn't understand that. All right, but this gets better though. So let's continue.
Yeah.
This gets better.
Babying your kid and always, thinking that your kid is this and thinking your kid is that.
Whoa, always thinking your kid is this and your kid. See, you're laughing because you know what's about to happen here. You're laughing because you know. So
it just keeps getting stickier, bro. I'm telling you, like Bruce, I let in to say, the more you let these people talk, man, the more they put their foot in it, bro. It's like, bro, just quit.
Yes.
Stop talking, bro. Bro, you already in it thick, bro. Stop. Just quit. Hey, somebody should have been on set with him, like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
this dude consistently walks into the punji pit. It's crazy. So these, you know what? Before I even let's go back 10 seconds and let's hear this again.
Are where they are at their stages in their lives. Babying your kid and always, thinking that your kid is this and thinking your kid is that.
Always thinking your kid is this and your kid is that. Is this not the same guy? I want to clarify here. I want to make sure I got this right. This is not the same guy putting out tweets saying when he was in high school that Bronny was better than some of the guys he's watching in the league on League Pass right now. When Bronny was in high school that he could help the Lakers win right now. These are tweets that LeBron put out. I'm not making this up, am I? Because, I'm going to get accused of making stuff up because I'm a hater and I wake up every morning to hate on another black man and I don't want to see LeBron eat and all. Like I could take food from LeBron, right? No one cares what I'm saying. No one cares. So I want to make sure that I'm not making up those tweets. Did I dream those? Help me out, Q.
Yeah, you misconstruing what he actually said, Bruce. That's the problem.
Okay.
You know what I mean? You read out of context, bro. You read a little too deep. Ain't even that serious, bro.
Just the fact that he said that when Bronny was in high school, that Bronny was better.
He said shit lightweight hilarious. I mean, he was joking.
Oh, you know what? Yo, Q, man, see, that's why I rock with you, sir, because you get me right when I'm okay. You got it.
That was a joke, bro. You know,
it was a joke. Okay, all right, cool.
And not allowing coaches to coach them, and not allowing people to be hard on them. And as soon as a coach or someone says something to them, you pull them and go somewhere else. Right. Or as soon as someone says something bad about your kid, you're the first person to go talk in his face. It's like,
Is this not the same dude that told Stephen A, that's my effing son, stop talking about my effing son? And then he says,
coach or someone says something to him, you pull them and go somewhere else. Right. Or as soon as someone says something bad about your kid, you're the first person to go talk in his face. It's like, are you?
You cannot make this stuff up. You Crazy. Can't make this stuff up. Oh my gosh.
Crazy. It's pathological, bro. He's special. You know what I'm saying? Like,
you better chill for your mic go out again, Q.
Bro. He's special, bro. Like, it almost feels like picking on a special needs person at this point, bro. I promise, bro. It's like, I told you, Bruce, I don't like to argue, right? I don't like to argue with people.
Yeah, you did say that.
Real life, because I'm just like, it's a waste of energy, man. Then I'm gonna want to fight because I'm from the streets, bro. I'm from DC. You gonna send me back to a teenager? I'm be like, bro, you trying to knuckle up or what? I ain't got time to keep going back and forth.
Right.
But, my thing is when people want to engage in arguments, I'll add like verbal sparring back and forth. I say, can you hear yourself? Now that's the question I always ask them. Do you hear yourself? Because I just heard you contradict yourself, and I just want to make sure that you heard what you said, because I heard what you said as I was sitting here listening. And so that's what I'm often thinking when I'm listening to LeBron. I'm like, bro, do you hear yourself talking, bro? Or do you just talk? He just talk. Do you hear yourself? You just said you don't do what we saw you do 3 months ago. Literally, bro. Just 3 months ago, bro.
Yes.
It's crazy.
Crazy. You know what's neat? It's funny that you say that, because a big part of why I'm like on this the way I am, honestly, and I've said this on this show before, I'm sure you've heard me say it, is that it really bothers me that he thinks people are stupid. Like, real talk. It really bothers me that he think, but a lot of people are, but I'm not. And he's not gonna, not me. It's just crazy to hear this stuff. It's right there. But let's wrap up the last few seconds of this clip. That was wild, man.
We fucking go coach from there.
Yeah.
Like,
It's like, really, life is way more no's than yes. If our kids aren't used to hearing no, like, how are they going to survive when they're adults?
Wow. I'm blown away, by this whole thing. Like, that is man. Like, I listened to that before, and it's funny because it seems to get worse every time you listen to it. Real talk, like, wait a minute, I didn't even catch that last time. Wow. Let's take a second and give a shout out to It's Not That Serious. Thank you for the $5 super chat, man. I appreciate you, brother. It's Not That Serious said, LeBron is an abject liar, literally. I mean, I don't know how anybody can argue that when I have done show after show exposing him and Rich Paul's lies. Like, It is too easy, right? And remember, when we talk about lying, there's the intent to deceive. This is not misspeaking or, being slick with the wordplay. There's a legitimate attempt to deceive because it's so blatant and obvious and ridiculous. I've never seen anything like this. This is insane. Mr. Realist. I think that's absolutely it. Yeah, man, this is wow. Okay, so man, that was crazy. Young disciple, none of this has anything to do with the game of basketball. Okay, so you got it. None of it has anything to do with the game.
Nope, Bruce. Nope. Exactly, young disciple. None of it has to do with the game of basketball, but LeBron is making content about it. And so we talk about it. Why are we the ones wrong for talking about? He ain't talking about the game of basketball when his podcast is actually supposed to be drawing up the X's and O's and breaking down the game of basketball. Instead, he's making content that has nothing to do with basketball. He's just fucking lying about nothing for no reason.
Right.
Come on, bro.
And you know what, Mr. Realist? That's a great point. That's something I've said on previous episodes. He's more than an athlete, right? So he wants to be evaluated for more than what happens between the lines. But when it comes to, people criticizing him, we can't do that because it should be only about basketball. Pick one. It's more than an athlete or it's not, right? If you're more than an athlete, we get to evaluate you for what you say and do outside of the lines as well. Thank you, Miss Aries. I missed the realist. I forgot about that. That's something that I had talked about previously, but man. Woo. All right, let's do this. Let's take a couple calls. I know Chief is going to call. I don't know who else can call, but let's go ahead. Y'all know the number, 904-219-8264, 904-219-8264. Let's go ahead and take a couple of calls on this. Edward, what's good, brother?
What's going on, sir?
What's going on, man?
DC, man, man, you can't.
Yo, DC is popping, DC is popping.
Hey, nah, man, man. Harlem's where it said, hey, yo, DC can't. Hey, right now, bro, you is money making Mitch's uncle right now, and I already told Bruce he Calvin.
Wow.
Your name is Calvin right now, man. Y'all took up a whole bunch of hot takes right now. So let me start with this.
Yeah, let me hear it. Pause. Let me hear what you got.
Bruce, you telling me that you like SGA's game, but you do not like LeBron's game.
That's exactly what I said. Why is that so difficult for you to understand?
But you gotta like them to know them. Like
no,
SGA
no. I didn't say nothing about him as a person, right? When I say I get where you're going, but when I say I don't know LeBron, it's because people are like, oh, you hate LeBron. You hate LeBron. No, I don't know LeBron to hate him, right? I don't know him. But I say I like SGA's game. I didn't say anything about SGA as a person. I don't know the dude. I don't know.
But his game is style of play and him as a person. So I'm not.
What? That's two different things, man.
Okay, bro.
A lot of people say that Mike was a jerk, right? A lot of people say that. I don't know Mike, but I love Mike's game. I don't know him as a person. You never hear me talk about him as a person. Okay, though.
Okay. Now let's go. Now y'all talk about all this stuff about what LeBron lied about and all that. I want to know about this part when he said about a bag. What do y'all consider a bag?
Oh my gosh!
Is it going 17 dribbles and 3 across the leg and it looks so pretty in the air? I mean, like what is that? Is that what y'all consider a bag?
We already explained it to you. Go ahead, Q. Handle that.
I'm just going to say very simply, Ed Triple OG. Look, bro.
Man, hey yo, I told you, you money making Mitch uncle right now, man. You
damn, he call you ice, bro. Damn, that's foul.
Bro. Come on,
bro. A bag is an arsenal. It means you can score in a multitude of ways.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not talking about dribbling the basketball 17 times. That's what Gilbert Arenas and his bunch also. They try to say, yeah, and LeBron even tried to clean it up a little bit in his commentary about it by saying, yeah, I was taught to get to it in as little dribbles as possible. That's not just a bag.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that I don't have to dribble I can get a 2-3 dribble combo going to score. That's a part of my bag. That I can score in the post, over the right shoulder fadeaway, over the left shoulder pump fake, up and under. Dude, that's a part of my bag. That's an arsenal. That I can score in a multitude of ways. Off the dribble, pull up in the mid range, long range, pull up 3-point. That's a bag. It's a consistent bag where I can get it from anywhere on the court. Kevin Durant has a bag. He don't have a spot.
Melo had a bag.
The way that he has to score the basketball. He has a bag. So that means he's going to get it how he live out there. That's how Carmelo got it. How Kobe got it. That's a bag.
Okay, cool. Okay. So let me ask y'all this. Would you consider that all that as a bag, but is winning considered a bag?
Why are you hung up on this whole bag thing?
And I'm asking a question. You said you said so. Winning is not considered having a bag. Right?
No, that's a different thing entirely.
No, how come in it? I mean, you brought up Kevin Durant. You brought up Kevin Durant, Carmelo, and I love those guys. I love those guys, man. I don't want to hear about this. I don't care about that.
Bag equals offensive toolkit, Edward.
Like bag equals offensive toolkit for a guy who got the most points in the league. Have
you been listening to the show? Have you been listening to the show, Edward?
Yes,
you're just trying to argue right now. Because I believe
I'm not arguing, B.
Edward, I believe we both gave LeBron his props for having had incredible statistical production across his career. We both did. I wasn't being facetious when I did that. You listen, nobody is saying, okay, this is what I said, and I'm a same thing I told you earlier. He does not have a bag commensurate with the other all-time elite scorers. There's no way around that. There's no way around that. So I don't understand why you're so bothered by this.
The all-time elite, okay, you said like the all-time elite scorers. Now, I give you MJ, I give you Kobe, but come on now.
Okay.
They won.
Dream,
they was winning.
Bird,
they winning.
KD. Come on, man.
No, they win it. I can't believe y'all not considering winning as a bag, though. I mean,
you don't understand what a bag is then. That's cool.
I do understand what a bag is. That's also in your bag. It's just winning is considered having a bag.
It's not. No, it's not. A bag is your offensive toolkit. What you can do in your offensive game to produce points, period. Winning is not a bag. Okay, wait. Okay. Let me make this simple for you. Did Dennis Rodman have a bag?
If we just talking about the way
did Dennis Rodman have a bag?
If you want to say consider it as a scoring, he does not have a bag.
Okay, Dennis Rodman has 5 championships. Winning is not part of a bag. Thank you. Next question.
No, but you want to consider you keep arguing my point about winning is not considered as a bag, though, Bruce.
Nobody has ever said that. Who says that? No one has ever said winning is part of a bag. No.
Okay, so you did not listen to what Chris Broussard said, who broke it down.
Oh my God. He did not say anything about winning being part of a bag. He didn't say that.
He didn't say that? I can see you so you didn't know
I watched the clip you sent me. I watched the clip you sent me. I watched it.
Okay, winning. You disagree with his point as well.
Oh my God.
Disagree with mine.
No, okay, Edward, you are fighting to defend your boo, and that's okay. I get it. But you're doing a very poor job here. So, what was your next question?
Hey, yo, I'm not doing a poor job, but I mean, all I'm just saying is that okay, his offensive toolkit. I mean, of course, it looks ugly to you people. Just because he drives the basket and all that, he just drives. It's ugly to y'all. It's not sexy.
It's not about Jesus Christ.
Hey, man, man, I don't care about that partner left pause. Look, man, you know we grown, man. We know. Come on, Bruce. We're not doing that.
It's not about. Go ahead, Q.
Hey, real quick. So I do want to clarify that too, because that's a part of like pushback and arguments for a lot of folks. They're saying, oh, because it doesn't look like everybody else's, or it doesn't look a certain way, or it's not fun, or there's no pizzazz or finesse to it. Y'all hating on it. Nobody is taking away from the fact that LeBron James Sr. can take the basketball, brother, and put it in the hoop.
He sure can.
To do that.
And he's done that more than anyone who's ever played before.
That doesn't mean that he can do so in a variety of different ways, because that would mean that he has a deep bag if he could do it in a variety of different ways. Did he have to do it in a variety of ways? No, still to become the all-time leading scorer. But that doesn't take away from the fact that he can't. Jeez, that's it. It's very simple, bro. Did he have to? No, he didn't have to. It's really a moot conversation in that sense when you try to make that kind of a comparison and say, well, why do he need to have a bag? Nobody's saying that he needed to. We're just saying that he doesn't. And that's not a lie. It's not hating on to say it. The dude literally just needs to get within 3 feet to score the basketball. And he did that a whole bunch of times.
And that's not okay. So with him not shooting the long ball, not doing a good fadeaway, everything like Steph Curry, Kevin Durant, and all that. I get it, man. It doesn't look as appealing, but I understand what y'all are saying. But man, this is mad crazy right now.
Yes, we know it hurts you that we don't worship your boo. I get it.
I know, Bruce. Hey,
I know it hurts you,
hey,
but it's okay.
I know, but you can worship, all the other guys that have bags, though.
I don't worship anybody.
I get it, though.
I don't worship anybody. You know better than that.
Man, Bruce,
you know better than that.
Bro.
I'm a Muslim, bro. I don't worship anybody.
Yeah, I so most definitely didn't worship that Fat Joe. God rest the dead. Those tracks you sent me was hot trash. That's all I'm gonna say.
Oh, you what? We gonna talk about this offline, brother.
Anyway, man, that's all that is.
We're gonna talk about this offline.
Nah, man, I'm gonna keep listening, but man, y'all keep cooking up. Hey, keep cooking up those hot takes, brother.
Yeah, whatever, man. Thanks for the call, Edward.
Y'all,
you be you,
y'all
man.
Don't need to be you, man. Oh man, woo, God rest the dead.
All right, brother.
My man.
Let me give a shout out to Chief Sid Bubba, then we'll get back to these calls. Appreciate the $5 super chat, Chief Sid Bubba. LeBron does not lie. He pulls an Obi-Wan on the media. Thank you for the super chat. Young Disciple, what's good, my brother? How are you?
What's up, man?
What's going on, brother? Hello?
Yo.
Okay, there we go.
Hey, so bro, so tell me this, bro. Like, if it ain't important, nigga, why y'all stating it? Like, y'all putting a lot of emphasis on it. But like, I get what old dude saying, bro. It's like y'all parading who that the brother don't got a bag. But it's like y'all killing y'all argument because like how important is a bag? Explain that to me.
So I think I'll say this, right? I'm not going to speak for Q, but for me, right, having having a bag has always been important in basketball when you're on that level of elite player, right? Because you know that the defense is going to attack you and defenses are going to double, sometimes triple team you. They're going to do everything they can to make it as difficult as possible on you. You're consistently going to have the best defender on you. So you have to be able in those situations to be able to, if you're going to attempt to score, continue to score, you're going to have to be able to get to your shots, get to your spaces, etc. And having the quote unquote bag increases your ability to do that at a high level. And I think that's why it's important.
You saying all that?
Yes.
You saying all that go for everybody except for LeBron? That's what you're saying?
So what I'll say is,
it's a simple yes or no question, bro. I'm just saying, does that go for LeBron? Because that's what I'm saying, bro. Y'all kind of like fighting your own argument. Like either it's important for LeBron or it's not.
So what I've said is this, and I think you missed it earlier, and I wasn't being facetious when I did it. I gave him his props for being able to do everything he's been able to do in his career.
That's
without,
cool, bro. I understand all that, bro. Right. We just talking about the bag right now, and it's important.
Yes, and I believe I do believe it's important. Somehow he has managed to he has managed to do everything that he's managed to do in terms of his statistical point production, while being while having one of the weakest offensive toolkits of all the elite scorers of all time. He has managed to do that. So more power to him.
So again, Bruce, how important is it?
Well, it's been important for everybody else. It's been important throughout the history of basketball. Clearly it is important.
Okay, so what we saying? No. Because we talking about LeBron. We talking about everybody else right now. So you're saying that so basically what you're saying is that LeBron is the exception to that rule, right?
Yeah, I guess we can say that based on.
Okay, then so what we talking about, bro? What we talking about then, Brody? Like I don't get it. Like
no, let me.
That means hold on, bro. That means as far as LeBron goes, everything that you just said don't matter. That's what that means, bro.
I mean, okay, okay, cool. So let me, and I'm gonna let you go in a second, Q. If it doesn't matter, one, why are you calling to defend it? Right, we're talking about LeBron. Right. Why are you making such a big deal to defend it? And two, if it doesn't matter, why did he address it? If it doesn't matter, clearly it matters to him, right?
Big bro, we're not talking about me or LeBron. We're talking about listen to what I'm saying, bro. I'm saying we're talking about from what we seen. You just had a whole soliloquy, and then you admitted to saying that it like LeBron is the exception, right? You just said that, right?
Yes, I did say that.
Nigga, that's not judging. That don't got nothing to do with what LeBron said. Nigga, that's us judging LeBron off LeBron's career. We're saying, nigga, that he's the exception to the rule. Nigga, so matters a damn, nigga, why he want to
do me a favor, chill with the N word, bro.
All right, bro.
Matters down.
It don't. How much? It don't matter much. Why he want to address it? Me and you need ain't now one of us him. So I can't answer that. But what I'm saying is that judging from his NBA career, everything that you said, the reasons why having a bag is important. I'm just saying that it's proven that LeBron is the exception to that rule.
And that's fine, but that doesn't change the fact that he doesn't have it. So at the end of the day, that's still the case. And
it doesn't change the fact that he didn't need it.
Okay, fine, but at the end of the day, it still doesn't.
Because y'all trying to say it like it's a slight. How fair would ask me this question, bro? How fair would God be, right? Right? If he gave LeBron a bag, that don't really make no sense, bro. I'm saying with the LeBron that we know right now, right? You want him to have a Kobe Bryant bag?
How did Kobe Bryant get his bag, young disciple? God gave it to him?
I don't know. Man, I don't know, bro.
He worked for it. I don't get his bag, young disciple.
Bro, he had to work for it.
He worked for it. Worked for a bag.
You can't argue that with a nigga that don't need a bag, bro.
Bro, listen.
You sound stupid. That sounds dumb as hell.
I just heard you say that, and I agree with you. Which is why you're saying.
Stop talking to me about everybody else, bro. We talking about.
Hold on. Wait. Hold on.
You're giving me them arguments for everybody else. I don't care about Kobe Bryant, nigga.
But hold on. Hey, calm down, young disciple. Calm down. And let's hold off the N-word. And you brought up Kobe. You brought up Kobe.
So to the point of what we're saying, you have Bruce admitted to LeBron James being an exception to a rule. So I want to address that, bro, because two things can be true. We're not fighting against our argument by saying it ain't no argument that LeBron James don't have a bag. He don't have a bag. He didn't work on a bag. He did not work on a deep offensive skill set that would have allowed him to score.
Bro, why y'all using this as a
bro? Come on, bro. You just got to check playing yours out.
Because bro, I don't want to hear all that, bro.
Hold on. You call in and you ask a question and Q's trying to answer. You got to let him.
All right, go ahead, bro.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Precisely. And I don't want to hear you telling me that LeBron's some exception to some rule and God gave all these other people a bag when they didn't. They worked for him.
That's what Bruce said.
He didn't obviously score 40,000 plus points or 50,000 plus points. Nobody's saying that. But you just said it's us, because I'm just trying to point out something that you said, bro, but you won't let me get in, telling me you don't want to hear when you're the one that said it. That's like you arguing like a woman. That's weird. I heard you say, our judgment of LeBron James. Our judgment of LeBron James. And so when we're judging and LeBron James is being judged against not only his career, but his career is being judged against the other people's careers who've come before me, other greats, then that's where the bag comes into play. Ain't nobody saying he had to have nothing. But if he's being compared to a Kobe, or they're trying to say he's the GOAT, he's better than Jordan, and all these people have bags, this is credence and proof as to how much better
it's not.
Basketball players are worse than him because they could get it done in a multitude of ways. Did LeBron's lead statistical greatness? Yes, it did,
bro. But you can't.
Come on, bro.
You can't. I produce more than you.
Young disciple. Statistical greatness is only one facet, bro. You acting like nobody's giving them credit for the stats.
Bro. Hey, bro, the objective of the game, bro. I like that. Hey, bro, I'm gonna give you 2 claps when I get through, bro. Like for that little speech you just gave. Like it was real cute. Hey, bro, the objective of the game, bro, is to put the ball inside the bucket. Like that's the objective of the game, bro. Like that's why bro. That's why you can't go to no credible publication, bro, and it mirror or it reflect like what dudes like you think. Like, bro, who cares about all that, bro? You saying. Hey, bro, I just let you talk, bro. I just let you talk, bro. Hey, you saying comparing LeBron to other greats? That's when a bad come into. No, it don't. Because I produce more. So if I produce more, I'm saying how important was? Hey, listen, bro. How important was Kobe bag? Brian bag. How important was it?
Is that a question that you actually want to answer to?
No. It's kind of rhetorical. I'm saying it was important to him.
Because I have an actual answer for your rhetorical question.
Man, well, bro, but I'm not looking for no.
Kobe's bag led to 5 championships. Michael's bag led to 6 championships.
Oh, no, it didn't. No, it didn't, bro.
Yes, it did.
All right, hold on, fellas. Hold on 1 second. Hold on. Young disciple, and Q. Let's not turn this into a LeBron Kobe debate. I appreciate.
No.
That's not where we're going with this because I see where that's going.
Because you just lied.
Here we go. I also know where this is going because
I ain't talking about you, Bruce. I'm talking about you.
No.
I'm talking about you.
No, I got you, but I also see where you're going because you and I have had this discussion before, and I know you don't. I know you don't. I know that you don't. But listen, we got some more calls coming in, man, and I know.
Give me 2 minutes, bro.
I know.
2 minutes.
Listen, you got 1 minute. You got 1 minute. Go.
Like I'm saying, bro, when you say stuff, bro, don't lie, bro. Kobe didn't lead, nigga.
I knew where that was going.
He didn't lead the 5 chips, bro. He led to 2. Nigga, I'm saying 3 of those, he had that Robin uniform on. Let's not forget that, bro. LeBron, he didn't lead his team to 4.
Young disciple.
Man, bro, he just said I got a minute, bro. You on the show. You can address
what you thought was gospel, like what you said.
Hey, Q, let him land his plane. Q, let him.
You want to be the only one to keep repeating the same thing that you said. You never heard what I'm saying. LeBron also wore a Robin on them super teams. Accept it. It's reality, bro.
Q, let him land his plane, man.
Hey, don't Robin. Hey, bro, I can see, bro. Them Robin rings, they really get to you, bro. But listen, bro, it ain't nothing I can do about that, bro. You see what I'm saying?
About LeBron's either, brother. LeBron's Robin rings are his Robin rings that he joined up on.
All right, listen, we not
act like they don't exist.
Gentlemen, we're not going to do that. We're not going to do that. Let's.
Hey, Bruce. Okay, you tell me which one LeBron rings was a Robin ring?
We don't. Listen. We don't got time for that now, young disciple. No. I understand. Listen.
I'm talking about the weirdo.
Young disciple, chill, my brother. We got to take these other calls, man. I really appreciate it, though. I really appreciate it. I gotta let you go. All right. I gotta let you go, bro. But I appreciate the call. Thank you so much, man. Young disciple always come with the heat and the passion, man. We appreciate the love, man. Brandon, Chief Sid Bubba, Nino, I think you were trying to call. Let's go ahead and get in here. We still got 2 topics left, so let's try to keep it brief, y'all. Brandon, what's going on, brother?
Let me hop on real quick and make it real simple.
Pause, bro. What you talking about? Let you hop on real quick, man. What you doing, man?
I said hop in, bro. Hop in.
Oh, okay. All right. Hop in. All right.
Hop in and make it real simple, right?
Yes, brother.
Because the comment and the conversation is very simple. And people take out of context because of their love for LeBron. That's their opinion. That's their business. That's their problem. But if LeBron really had took the bag, he wouldn't have had the team with so many different top 75 all-stars to get his championship. 1. 2, why a bag is important. The last caller was talking about how he needed. Look, when the game is on the line and you're the Warriors, you know that ball is going to Steph Curry 3 balls flash. If it was MJ, you knew there was a possibility to fade away, some type of magical layup or clutch jumper. Same thing with Kobe. These bags are there. They have their bags, what they're great at, to help finalize the score, finalize the game. So all this conversation about, well, LeBron ain't needed, LeBron ain't this, stop it. Take your love for LeBron out and admit this is just a comment. The comment was he does not have the bag that the greats have. With that said, Bruce, you proved the point when you said, would you say Dennis Rodman had a bag? No, but he got 5.
Right. So I don't know how people are trying to say like a bag is part of winning. Like that doesn't even make
Tim
sense.
Duncan had the most fundamental bag there ever was.
Right.
It doesn't have to be flashy. It's your offensive skill set. Okay, for example, you knew if Michael was going to hit you with that fadeaway jumper, it was clutch. It was good. Same thing with Kobe. All right. You know, each guy has their own thing.
Mm-hmm.
LeBron does not have if you give LeBron the ball to win the game with the game on the line, you don't know if he's going to try to back you down and flop and hope for a call, if he's going to step the jumper, or if he's going to do what he's known for, pass the rock. Because he's the most passing clutch player I've seen in my life. You know, Mike would not have given up half the shots that LeBron gave up. In that clutch shot. So the point you all are making is very simple. LeBron does not have a specific set of moves that he can go to where he needs automatic buckets. Yes, he can score at will, but he does not have that automatic set of play, whether it be a fadeaway, whether it be a back, he had the sky open.
Right.
He was Iceman and the finger roll.
Right.
Just that simple.
No doubt. You got anything else, bro?
Go Wizards and Commanders.
All right, B. I appreciate the call, brother. Thanks for the support, man.
Yeah.
All right, man. Laker Nation, I see you. Chief Sid Bubba, I see you. We're gonna take calls from you two guys. Got to make sure you get in, and then we'll get to the next topic. So I'm waiting for y'all. Chief Sid Bubba and Laker Nation, go ahead and call back. I'm gonna make sure I get you guys in.
So real quick, Bruce, to that point.
Go ahead, Chief. Go ahead.
All right, rock with the call. Let's
All right. Chief, good evening, Chief. How are you?
Hey, I'm doing good. How you doing there, Q?
What's good, brother?
Oh, okay. I'm going to disagree with both of you.
Okay. Good. I know you would.
No, but listen to what I'm going to say. Now, I get what you're saying about having that consummate set of moves in comparison to other stars. I get that. But the problem is I got facts back in Leo.
Okay.
LeBron scored 61 against Charlotte, 57 against Washington, 56 against Golden State. He didn't just all drive to the basket. Now, not and then that 45, 15, and 5 he dropped on Boston.
Why you gotta keep bringing that up, man? Nah, go ahead, man.
I love sticking it to a Celtics fan.
Facts. Not mad at that. Go ahead, brother. Yes.
What I'm saying is, now he showed those skills, but to you guys' point, he don't do it all the time. LeBron James' game is super simple. He's gonna go downhill. He's gonna call for a screen. You're gonna have to make a decision. Somebody gonna collapse on him. He's gonna pass it off. Very simple game, but very effective. Because guess what? You guys didn't dispute this. Best guy going downhill, going to the rim. Can we say that? One of the greats.
One of the greats, yeah. I'm not ready to say best, but one of the greats, yes.
One of the greats, right. So in that, he has a bag, but does he go to it? No. He's going to do the same going downhill, dribble. Sometimes he dribble off his foot, like to say.
Does it a lot, but go ahead.
But that's what he does. Simplify the game. Game easy. And that's what you want. And a lot of times, you don't want, I wouldn't want LeBron to play like Kobe. If he's 6'9", 270, I want him down there being a bully. Makes perfect basketball sense to me.
Hey, Sid, can I ask you a question?
Yes, sir.
Most threes I ever hit in a single basketball game was 5. 5. I never hit more than 2 threes in another game for the entire time that I played. More than 2 in any other game.
Okay.
Could I say that I have a 3-pointer as a part of my bag?
You can use it.
I can use it.
I'm not, but I'm just saying for all the other moves.
You didn't give me a definitive yeah. Oh hell yeah, Q, you could. Yeah, 3-pointers a point. You said you can use it.
But Q, I'm from the old school. I ain't really big on threes like that. I ain't a big 3 guy. To me, they shoot too many. That's why the Pacers lost. So I'm not a big. Huh?
The point that I was making is, unless it's a thing that I do efficiently and that I can go to at will to score, because I heard LeBron can score at will going to the basket, and that's the point of having the bad conversation, because LeBron cannot score at will going to the basket. If he could, he'd have more than 50,000 points. When Dallas stopped him from going to the basket because his offensive skill set was so limited, and the way that he got his points doesn't negate 45, 15, and 5 that he scored against Boston. Doesn't negate the 61 that he had against Charlotte the night that he shot out of his mind. Doesn't mean that he did not have those great games, but that's not a part of his consistent bag. Kobe Bryant went to a consistent bag, brother. Come on, man. I don't know why people act like they don't understand stuff, or that they didn't see the games that we saw played. Like you haven't watched 23 years of LeBron James playing basketball, bro. It's like when people arguments like we're somehow hating on the dude, he don't need to have it. It's like we've watched him get shut down, and if he would have worked on his bag, he wouldn't have got. He definitely have more than 4 rings. They didn't win most of those championships because LeBron couldn't deliver because he had a weak fucking bag. And when they stopped him from going down when he was 4, he couldn't score. That's the reality. I don't care how you think, how people digest it, bro. It's true.
What I'm saying is, Q. I'm just saying he demonstrated that he could. That's what I was saying.
Right.
Fair enough, but let's let me interrupt you, Chief. Let's move off this bag thing because we really got the. Yeah, I wanted to hear your commentary about his lies, his continuous lies.
LeBron doesn't lie.
What
he does? Wait, hold on, Bruce.
Okay.
He pulls an Obi-Wan Kenobi. Obi-Wan. You know what Obi-Wan says to Luke? You know, Darth Vader killed your daddy.
Oh, that's what it is?
That's what it is. So what he does, he tells the truth from a certain point of view.
Mm-hmm.
So in his mind, and I think and you're big on don't do that. Don't do that.
I'm listening to you, Chief.
Okay. So what he does, he's gonna stretch the truth now. I ain't gonna lie for my boy. You know, I'm gonna keep it a buck. LeBron gonna stretch it. He gonna try to add extra color. He gonna try to salt it up. He gonna try to throw some Lowrys. He gonna try to throw some on that material. But does he maliciously lie to deceive you?
Yes. LeBron don't stretch the truth, Chief. LeBron is a contortionist with the truth. Come on, Chief. How many shows do I have to do with him and Rich Paul? I mean, I just go through piece by piece. Lies. Come on, man.
Bruce, they're being very disingenuous.
There you go. Which is lying.
But the reason I say that, I don't think he really sees that he's lying.
You don't think?
I'm gonna be honest with you.
Okay.
At certain times he says so much stuff. I really think he believes it.
He does.
I think that's
okay.
Yeah.
You know what? I'll give you that. Okay.
That's what I'm saying. When Obi-Wan told Luke that, I mean, Obi-Wan, did he kind of lie?
Right.
But did he have a certain point? Is how you view it. Now, me, you know, so that's what I'm saying. LeBron don't lie. He don't try to do that. But will he stretch the truth?
Woo!
Yeah. Will he glaze it up a little? Oh, yeah.
Man, listen.
Hamming it up.
What he doing with the truth? He look like Dawson from Street Fighter out here. That's what he doing with the truth. If you call that stretching, man.
He's you know, he almost alternated it. But I'm just saying.
Okay,
you know,
Chief. All right.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, you know, Star Wars.
All right, Chief. Okay. All right. I'm gonna let you live with that. I'm gonna let you live because you're my guy, man. Man, you need your shipmate here to protect you on that one because that was bad, man.
You know what I'm saying, Bruce. He said, I'm being a little disingenuous.
No doubt, Chief, man. I appreciate the call, brother. Thank you so much,
All
man.
right.
All right.
Okay.
All right, Nino and Laker Nation. We're not moving off of this topic until I hear from Laker Nation. We got to get you in here, man. And Nino, if you want to call back, you call back as well. Those are the only 2 calls I'm taking before we move on to some NFL talk, all right? Nino, and there we go. Laker Nation, my brother, how you doing, man? I wanted to make sure I heard from you. Laker Nation. Laker Nation.
Finally got through.
Yo, mute the TV, mute the YouTube in the background, man.
It is me.
Okay, cool. Now we kept you kept calling while I was on the phone, but I wanted to make sure I heard from you, man. What you got, brother?
Yeah, man. Let me get this off my chest. I was just in here laughing so hard I had to compose myself. Before we get into the LeBron line of lie topic,
Okay.
let me point some facts.
Okay.
When LeBron was the leader of his team, he dominated the regular season.
Yes.
He's a very dominant regular season player.
Yes.
Because he has the most points all time in the regular season. When it comes to the playoffs, as the number 1 guy, he got smoked by San Antonio Spurs. When all 3.5 of his rings were Robin rings. Let's just state facts. What did Dallas do when they game planned against him to shut him down, and who had to? They shut him down in 2011. KD just busted his ass going 1-on-1. That was his assignment.
Well,
and he got smoked in 2 straight finals. So it's just like I got this dude to admit that he hates Kobe.
Well,
so, y'all just, I don't know why y'all just let this dude go from show to show, crying, bitching, and moaning about retarded shit when he's just speaking on emotion, not speaking facts. That's why he don't want to debate me. But I'm gonna just say this. You gotta understand, there's no Batman and Robin with a dynamic duo.
Correct.
It's 1-2. It's just idiots can't comprehend that when you just want to push a narrative that you're biased about one thing. That I don't like this dude, so I'm just gonna pick and choose some crap to say about him because I don't got no substance in my argument.
Right.
So I'm just gonna say, oh, he's a Robin. I'm only counting 2. Well, I'll take that argument too. Well, he still got 2 more rings as a leader than LeBron did in his whole damn career. Because he had Hall of Fame. He had Hall of Famers 2 and 3 on his roster, and even his role players made the damn Hall of Fame. So I don't want to hear that crap.
Right.
2, I don't care. This bag argument is this is his new school. It's all about skill to get the ball in the basket. I agree with him on that. That is the object of the game. Get the ball in the hoop. In my opinion, yes. He's the most efficient scorer in the NBA because 90% of his buckets was in the paint. So give him that. However, at the end of the day, everybody plays to win. So when it comes down to it, his style of play does not win. It is proven. When it comes down to crunch time, yes, you went 10 straight times. You dominated your conference. Kudos to that.
8 straight, 10 total. But yeah.
Well, 8 straight, 10 total.
Right.
Correct. But out of those 8 straight, you won 3 of them. That is low percentage. Because let me ask you this, Bruce.
Okay.
If I call myself a Mac A, and I talk to 10 straight females and I strike out 7 times, am I a player or am I a simp?
Yeah, it doesn't sound great. It doesn't
But
sound
it's good.
great.
But it's okay. It's okay
Mhm.
that it's okay to push this idiotic narrative that this dude is just so damn great. He's such a winner. He got the most playoff points. He got the most this, that, and but at the end of the day, what did it amount to? Not a damn near nothing. Just something to put on your wall.
I'm not going to say nothing, but it is interesting to me how, and I've said it a million times, how the losing gets glossed over. I can't figure that out. But regardless, though, I think the bigger point was, and I don't know if you heard the segment we were doing. Well, this segment here.
I was going to touch on the line.
Yeah. Let's get to that. Let's get to that so we can get Nino in and then go on to the next. Let's get to that.
Yeah, it's funny how if you want to, as the old saying go, don't prove everybody that you a fool by opening up your mouth.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
yeah,
you're on your podcast, basically talking shit about yourself.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I look at it.
Mm-hmm.
To me, it's funny because they hear this dude, and I give all the credit in the world to Steve Nash. He's trying to hold it in, but you can see on his face.
Look, Nash getting paid, man. He's like, just keep the checks coming.
So, yeah, he's holding it in. He's holding it in because he's getting his bag. But you can see the look on his face that he's trying his damnness to put on this front. Because there's not one father in the world that's not going to talk to. If they feel that their kid is not performing well, they're going to do one or two things. They're either going to talk to their kid or they're going to talk to the coach. But they're not going to just sit down and not do nothing.
Right.
That is a proven fact. It don't matter. I use Carmelo as an example.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't run to the coach when he felt like his kid needed to improve. He took the matter in his own hand. He talked to his kid and he worked with his kid.
Mm-hmm. He sure
Parents
did.
are going to fucking do it. Do something.
Mm-hmm.
His method through his life. He's the one that came out and said what he said, that his son was better than half of the guys in the NBA.
Mm-hmm.
He's the one that pulled the strings that got him on the McDonald's All-American when he didn't deserve it. He's the one that pulled him out of college prematurely because he wanted to have that father-son moment in the NBA.
Correct.
He's the one that did all that. He's the one that did all that. And he have the nerve to get on there and say what he said in that clip.
Mm-hmm.
And that, like, the dudes, and anybody that defends that shit is like Q said earlier, you're either a woman or you're a man pretending to be a woman. You got a mangina, because a real, I ain't gonna say the N word, but real ones, I ain't gonna accept that bullshit. I ain't gonna accept that crap. Because you can't be a two-faced lying dude and sitting at the table with real ones.
Fair enough.
We can't eat at the same table because we don't speak the same language. So I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna go. It's just simple fact is, I say BANs flock together. BANs flock together. Real ones stay away because they don't want to catch no case knocking out a BAN, and I'm out.
I appreciate the call, brother. Appreciate the call. All right. Nino, last one on this topic, man. Go ahead, call in, Nino. We want to hear from you, bro. Xavier Hernandez, man. Amazing how you LeBron fans, and I know you're one because I can see it from your comments. Amazing how y'all go straight to the whataboutism altar. What about Jordan? What about? All right, come on, cut that out, man. Like your boy Young Disciple said, we talking about Bron here, right? Now I could dismantle all that, but I don't even have time to do it. Nino, what's good, man?
Man, Bruce. Yeah.
What up?
Hey, listen, Bruce.
What's up, brother?
The man just said, you usually good with correcting people. I don't know if you just trying to get on. I got to correct one thing.
Go for it.
The man just said
Mm-hmm.
that if their child is playing bad,
Mm-hmm.
every parent would correct him and talk to the coach. And you said,
Well,
now,
the reason
that to be a fact?
Hold on. The reason that what's his name? The reason that Laker Nation said that is because Laker Nation deals with I don't know if you've seen his show. He deals with junior athletics on a regular basis. He coaches and all that. So he deals with a lot of parents and a lot of young players. That's why he's speaking to that, right? That's why I was like, Now, does that mean that I'm saying in every single case that's going to happen? No, because like Laker Nation said, Melo didn't do that, right? When he saw his son get jerked for McDonald's All-America, he didn't call the people, and he actually said that on his show when he was like, I didn't call anybody. I could have done that, right? He didn't do that. When he saw his son getting what he felt was jerked, he just took him out and he said, hey, put the work in, right? So not everyone is going to move like that, but Laker Nation was speaking to what he knows being in that arena, dealing with a lot of talented young athletes.
But you made my point. You just made my point because D-Wade did it. Is that make D-Wade wrong? Because D-Wade moved his child.
Wait, D-Wade did what?
So
What did he do?
He moved his son got into it with the coach, and he moved his son, took him to a different school in high school.
Okay. I wasn't aware of that.
So what I'm saying, that's a fact.
Out of Sierra Canyon, you are absolutely right, Dino.
So what I'm saying is what I said about the getting Bronny on. Everybody parents different. That's why when you said the point to your point, hey, my son didn't make it and whatever, I wouldn't do that. And I'm like, Bruce gotta be true, but that's your style of parenting. You know what I'm saying? I just want to touch on that.
No doubt.
Now to this bag point, I couldn't take it no more. What is we describing as a bag, Bruce? Is people saying LeBron don't got a bag? And you know what they do? Most of them,
offensive scoring package.
2011.
But so I'm not oh my gosh. I'm not even just talking about 2011, but we've watched this dude for 23 years. And 2 years ago, he got a reliable jump shot 2 years ago. When we talk about bag, I'm going to say when we talk about bag, we're talking about scoring, offensive scoring package. That is what people mean when they say bag. Kyrie got a bag. Kobe had a bag. Michael Jordan has a bag. Bird had a bag. Dream had a bag, right? That's bag. That's bag. Offensive scoring. I'm trying to get on the thing.
Dream had a bag. So you saying he can score from the post, the mid-range, the three, all of that. That's what you're telling me.
Okay. So,
let's break it down now. That's what we got to do for the people. We got to get some. We got to keep saying, bro, ain't got a bag. This person ain't got a bag.
All right. So here's the deal, right? Here's the deal. So let me say this. Based on where Dream operated within the scope of his offense, right? At the end, and where centers operated within the scope of their offense at the time that Dream was playing, Dream absolutely had a bag, and he would kill today, but that's a whole different thing. But yeah, he absolutely had a bag, right? Now, back then, were centers stepping out shooting threes? Only extremely rarely, right? So we didn't get a chance to see that. Although, according to Kenny Smith, he used to knock down threes, but not the point. But I
believe.
Yeah, right. But yeah, Dream absolutely had a bag. Why do you think people go to him to learn how to do stuff? Because he had a bag.
No, but see the context you said. He from the spot that he operated in, his bag was prolific. You couldn't stop him from the spot he operated in. That was his bag.
Mm-hmm.
What was Kobe's bag? His bread and butter bag was the MJ bag. When Kobe get you that mid-range fashion, Kobe wasn't shooting a bunch of threes like that.
No,
but he could shoot the three.
But that also was part of the game back then. You know what I'm saying?
We gotta do contact. Bron didn't come in. So we're talking about Miami Heat, Bron.
Right.
Game 7, Bron with the Spurs, right? Did y'all see that? Y'all forgot it was a Game 7 when they beat the Spurs.
Yeah. No. And I've always given LeBron credit for after Ray Allen saved him for going and having a great Game 7. I've always did. We had like 34, 35 in that game. 37. He played really well in Game 7. I've never not given him credit for that. But and we're not. This is not the point of the topic. He doesn't even get there if Ray Allen doesn't do what he did. But not the point.
That's a fact. I don't argue. The point that I think people try to go to winning don't know why they keep associating winning with individual play anyway. I ain't got no debate about that versus winning. We talking about individuals having the bag. Okay. Now, they people bring up. I hate to do this because this ain't again. So I feel like Kobe had a major bag. If we talk about stuff that do the winning, it was a team that beat the Lakers when they had the best player in the league and probably the top 5 player in the league in the championship. You got to put that right onto the Mavericks now. What talk about letdown. What I'm talking about, Bruce?
Nino, I need you to be clear, man. Say what you got to say, man. We got to move on to these other topics. What's up? What are you specifically referring to?
The Pistons. When the Pistons beat Shaq and Kobe.
Mm-hmm.
The bag then, Kobe still had a bag. They just lost the game. So that don't refer to losing. We talking about individual play.
Right. I don't.
James,
What does bag have to do with winning and losing? That's not.
That's what you ain't been listening to. You didn't listen to your last call. You didn't listen to Opinion Stated.
No,
and you didn't listen to Laker Nation.
No. So listen. My thing is, winning is not part of the bag. Having a bag can lead to winning, but winning is not part of the bag. You see what I'm saying? It works one way, not the other. That's what I'm saying.
You didn't say that, Bruce. You didn't say that. I agree with what you said.
That's what I've been saying. Because remember when Edward was asking, is winning part of the bag? And I was like, no, winning is not part of the bag. Having a bag can facilitate more winning, though. I'm pretty sure that's what you said too, though.
No. To Nino's point,
okay.
Young Tiger was like, the bag was unnecessary. What is it? What's the point? Like, what? It's like, no. Kobe's bag. He said, what did Kobe's bag do for him? Kobe's bag helped him win 5 championships. That's what his bag did. So is winning a part of your bag? No. But the bag leads to some things. When you're making a comparison to other players, bro, and greats, you're going to compare me and Bruce as basketball players. Anybody who's watching this pod or listening to this pod should be able to understand this point, bro. If you're going to compare us as basketball players, and I'm known for being able to shoot from the outside, right, from beyond the 3. I'm known for being able to shoot from the mid-range. Anywhere around the inside perimeter, I can knock down a jump shot. I can score my back to the basket in the post, up and under moves, fade away, what have you. I can score in transition, handling the ball with both hands without turning it over and laying the ball up. And all Bruce can do, effectively, mind you, is score with his back to the basket with a sky hook a la Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. When you compare us as basketball players, I am a more skilled basketball player than Bruce, even though Bruce might be more effective at putting the ball, objective of the game, putting the ball in the hoop. To say that is not disrespectful to Bruce. He's just not as good a basketball player as me. But he can score the ball. Just because you score the ball don't make you good. It's weird. You can score, bro, because you're close to the basket, but you don't have a bag. You don't have a bag.
Like Shaq is one of the most dominant, if not the most dominant. Would we say he had a bag? No.
If I can stop you from scoring that one way that you can score anymore. But me, I can score in a multitude of ways. You're not stopping me. Or you're going to have a hard time trying to stop me because I have a bag. That's the point of talking about the bag. Anything else is moot. Once you start talking about stats and all that shit, it's like you're trying to inject things into us, the conversation about bag that have nothing to do with us saying, man, he has a limited offensive ability, which he actually does. Did that matter to him scoring a shit ton of points? No, it didn't.
Right. Two things can be true.
It's false. Then he's limited.
Excuse me.
I'm saying this though, Bruce. When you go to after 2011, now I give you that because they did the same thing when they zoned up and forced them to take them jumpers. When you go back to after that, when he played the Durant and the Spurs after that, even the losses against Golden State, y'all telling me y'all didn't see a bag? I'm trying to get to understand. That's what I really want. That's the question I really want to know.
Nino, I'm gonna tell you, maybe I need to go back and watch, but no, I don't see that. And honestly, I still don't see a bag for LeBron. Although I must admit, in the last few years, his jump shot has gotten much more reliable. But no bag.
But this the last his bag ever been because he old and he's slow. Y'all, he's slow. He's very old and slow.
All right.
But I'm gonna say this though, Bruce. We're gonna lead it to you. I agree with your original point. So y'all don't go teaching it to the youth. The bag is the last thing. Listen to Bruce. The bag is the last thing. Because I wish Wendy didn't have a bag. Go under there and do layups and jump ropes. Please, Wendy. He could go. He could average 50. I'm going to leave you with that. Shout out to Bruce, man. Shout out to y'all.
All right, Nino. Man, I appreciate the call, brother. Take it easy, man. Thank you. Man, I love our callers, man. They got so much passion. Woo! Man. All right, y'all. All right. That's it for this topic. That was serious. Okay, let's get to some NFL. Let's see if this is a little more calm, even though the NFL is king. So, I don't know if y'all heard. Man, I wish Transformer was here for this too. He loves talking NFL. But anyway, I don't know if y'all heard that Jamar Chase, arguably second or third best receiver in the NFL, right? Depending on how you look at it. Maybe for some people, he's your first. He's an absolute beast with the Bengals. But he was asked on a recent podcast appearance, who's his Mount Rushmore of wide receivers, right? His top 4 wide receivers of all time. And this one is crazy to me, right? All right, Brandon. All right, we getting there, bro. So Jamar Chase says his top 4 wide receivers of all time. And I'm gonna go down here. He says number 1, well, not necessarily in this order, but I'm just going his career. One of them being the Triple Crown season. So, okay. So he has Cooper Kupp, and I think as we go on through his list, you're gonna see a lot of it has to do with his age, right? Now this one, I think this could be legit. He says Antonio Brown is one of his Mount Rushmore receivers. I think Antonio Brown could have been that, but obviously he went crazy and just started wilding. But also, he doesn't quite have the body of work, although he had one of the greatest 6-year stretches in the history of being a wide receiver in the NFL. He had a 6-year stretch in which he had 1,499 receiving yards, 1,698 receiving yards, 1,834 receiving yards, 1,284 receiving yards, 1,533 receiving yards, and 1,297 receiving yards. So that 6-year stretch is right there with anybody in the history of the game. Now, we also need to be cognizant, again, much like basketball with the rules changes in the NFL, you can't hit receivers across the middle. You got the defenseless receiver rule, which was never a thing before. Obviously, quarterbacks are more protected than they've ever been before, so they can kind of stand in there and have more time to deliver, et cetera, et cetera. We have to be fair in how we judge these quarterback and receiver numbers, right? But Antonio Brown was an absolute beast. I'm not even going to front on the dude. But yes, Steve. Yes, absolutely. Jamar Chase put Cooper Kupp on his Mount Rushmore of receivers. So that's Cooper Kupp, Antonio Brown. Then his top 10 in touchdowns. He's not top 10 in yards. And it's not all about stats, but at the same time, stats are a major part of it, right? Because what do I always say when I talk about greatness with players? I talk about stats, eye test, winning, and accolades. Those are my 4 categories. And your greatness for me is kind of an amalgam of all of those 4 things. And that goes across sports. And then finally, and I think he just said this because he was worried that if he didn't say this, he would get excoriated. But obviously, Jerry Rice, the guy who is widely regarded as the greatest wide receiver of all time. And his numbers are just too obscene for there to be any real argument. Like, he's ahead of everybody by so much, right? So Larry Fitzgerald is second all time, and Jerry Rice is more than 5,000 yards ahead of him receiving. And obviously, as I just mentioned, Jerry Rice played in a much tougher era for receivers and for quarterbacks, but he was that dude, right? So he's got Jerry Rice, Calvin Johnson, Cooper Kupp, and Antonio Brown. So I'm like, really, for me, there's only one guy on Jamar Chase's, top 4 that is definitively the guy, right? And I know Laker Nation loves these Jerry Rice highlights. Shout out Laker Nation. But it's interesting to me that when you have, a lot of these young players, and this is in multiple sports, that this is your job. You're one of the best at these jobs, and you have no idea who some of these people are. I was telling Q before we got on, I'll let you go in a second, Q, about Mitchell Robinson, the center for the Knicks. And when he was a rookie in 2019, I think Dream said something to him, and he said he had no idea who Hakeem Olajuwon was. And I'm like, you're an NBA center and you don't know who Hakeem Olajuwon is, like, that was blasphemous to me. Not because I'm such a big fan of Dream, but because if this is your job, you should be looking at those all-time greats ahead of you. You should know who Kareem is. You should know who Dream is. You should know who Shaq is. You should know who D-Rob is, Pat Ewing, so on and so forth. Wilt Chamberlain. Like, for you to say you don't know who Dream is, like, that's absurd if you're an NBA center. But Q, I've been talking for a while, man. Give me some of your thoughts on Jamar Chase's list and what you see there and what you think.
Yeah, so I would say, like, the thing that we should probably be careful of, because this happens so often as talking points on podcasts, etc.
Mm-hmm.
When somebody drops a list, everybody wants to, oh, this dude's an idiot. You don't know what he's talking about. How dare you put this person, like, it's all opinion based. So
yeah, it is.
His opinion. You know what I mean? Like, remember the kid Brandon Miller or whoever it was had Paul George years ago. You know what I mean? So we laughed at it and then we let it go. It's like, clearly this kid's delusional. You know what I mean? Or on what we think. You know what I mean? This kid has no clue what he's talking about. So it's a very interesting list. But man, when your scope of experience of watching the game or your knowledge of the game is very limited, then I expect nothing less. Like, it is what it is. Again, his list doesn't talk me out of the greats that I saw. And you know what I mean? I started talking about folks that I'm just going to put on there through my own personal bias or, you know, of bias or what have you. I'll be like, man, I'm throwing Art Monk up there. You know what I'm saying? As a dude from Washington. You know what I'm saying? Like, so if I'm talking Jerry Rice, I'm talking Art Monk. And folks do their own research. You know what I mean? If they don't understand, do it for yourself. Look at some numbers and count and all that stuff. And then it is what it is. But I can't act like a Marvin Harrison wasn't in the league for me personally. Act like, you know what I mean, a Reggie Wayne wasn't on the other side of the field from him. I can't, like, you know what I mean? Like a Hines Ward didn't exist. A Randy Moss didn't exist. Just receivers that did things differently, maybe slot, you know what I mean? Maybe some, you know what I mean, that were more deep threats. But man, I've watched some incredible football players play in my 48 years on the planet. You know what I'm saying? Like, watching sports, man. So yeah, the lists are always the list. You know what I mean? I always want to kind of be careful not to beat up a person because of their list. I'm like, all right, that's
sure, indeed, but some of these lists are absurd, though, man. Like, there's no way Cooper Kupp should be on anybody's Mount Rushmore of wide receivers. Like, how is that even possible? I can even kind of push for the Antonio Brown thing, because when he was at his peak, good God, he was amazing. Right. And this is a Raven fan talking, right? He was incredible. That's why I said, like, that 6-year stretch he had, you could put it up there with pretty much anybody. But like, come on, Cooper Kupp, come on now. Like, what are we doing? Like, that's why I'm like, some of these lists are insane. So I don't think you said, do you know who your 4 top wide receivers are?
Bro, I couldn't even do it. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like it's like the NBA Mount Rushmore. Because again, if I just start running through names, I'm like, dang, yo, so many folks. You know what I mean? Like, I got to put Randy Moss up there. I got to put, you know, that's just for me personally. You know what I'm saying? Randy Moss, Art Monk. I'm going to go Jerry Rice. And I'm like, man, it's like, who else? It's so many really good wide receivers, and some might not even be some that people, again, they pick them out apart. Like, how could you choose a Larry Fitzgerald or Anquan Bolden or Marcus Colston or like one of these folks? Just like, I remember a time when I was doing some fantasy leagues, and it made me pay a different kind of an attention to their statistical output through a season. You know what I mean? So it's just like some of these dudes had, again, just for their incredible ability to look at just the stats, I could just say, well, who has the most receiving yards through history, and like, these folks deserve to be on the Mount Rushmore. It's like catches, etc. It's like, but not really. You know what I mean? Because I know what I saw, and then at the same time, you have your Lynn Swans and some of these folks that I didn't see play. True. Go back and look at highlights for, but I know they were incredible. You know what I mean? It's impossible, bro. I can't even do it. It's too tough.
Okay. Wow, that's a throwback. Excuse me, Chief Sid Bubble, Bullet Bob Hayes. Wow. Yeah. Olympic gold medalist in 100. And then was that 1968 Mexico City, I believe. And then he came and became a star in the NFL. Yeah. Bullet Bob Hayes. Okay, so I'll give my Mount Rushmore, my top 4 wide receivers ever. And for me, it was pretty easy. And I'll go Jerry Rice, Randy Moss, Marvin Harrison, Larry Fitzgerald.
Yeah.
Like I think that's an easy one. And I think while everyone has their own opinion, I'm gonna say that's pretty much inarguable.
Give me again. One more time.
Jerry Rice, Randy Moss, Larry Fitzgerald,
Girls, my God,
Marvin Harrison.
Harrison. Yeah, I can't even fight you on that because again, those are 4. I think I mentioned all 4 of them. You know what I'm saying?
Right. No doubt.
Those dudes are incredible. And then if you just begin to stack another list against them, it's like, you can't like I can't really fight you on it. You know?
Yeah, you're right. Well, the only thing I'll say, I think that no matter what the list is, obviously Jerry Rice is going to be Jerry
Rice is definitely on.
Right, he's the starter.
But Marvin Harrison on it, like you said, as an offspring of a Marvin Harrison, for me, it would be a Larry Fitzgerald. You know what I'm saying? But But then how do I not put a Randy Moss on there? You know what I mean? Because
if you don't put Randy Moss, then you put Terrell Owens, right? That would be the argument for that.
And that's what I was saying. So again,
and if you don't put a Marvin Harrison, the argument for that is okay, no Marvin Harrison, Chris Carter. You know what I'm saying? So
then that's what I said. So you make that alternative list and you say, all right, well, give me Chris Carter, give me T.O. You know what I mean? Give me whoever else. It's like, damn, I can't even argue with that list either, bro.
Right.
The Rushmore joints be so disrespectful to a degree, but it's like, but I understand the point because there's more presidents. But it's just like, bro, there's so many Incredibles. You know what I mean? They're like, it's hard, bro. It's so tough, man, because they're really gifted wide receivers. You know what I mean? Like over the years, man. And I'm fortunate that I got a chance to see a lot of them play in my lifetime.
Yeah, we've been blessed.
We saw the absolute best either. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's what happens when you're a little older now. You know, we getting up there a little bit. So definitely. No, Brandon, I don't think Art Monk retired to GOAT because I know you're biased. You're a DC guy, you're a Commanders guy, but he, as great as he was, if I'm recollecting when we were young, the guy everybody talked about before Jerry Rice definitively took it over was Steve Largent. That's the guy I remember hearing about when we were kids.
Talked about a lot.
Yeah, and that's no disrespect to Art Monk, but he wasn't considered it was Steve Largent.
Yes,
and then
there was no GOAT talk, but
that's true too.
Up in DC, you know what I mean? Like,
of course,
for us, his prowess was being celebrated. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I remember.
Yeah,
I was there.
And local, so it's like for us, even though we could have the respect and love for Jerry Rice and all that stuff, it's like, man, we got a chance to see Art Monk every week, bro. And to hear them talk about him and celebrate his records and then put them into context.
Yeah.
Not just his records, but what he was doing, weekly etching himself into the history, which is, again, man, a point. I know we're talking about football, but I'm saying that's, again, a point for me as to why I cannot be a hater of any player playing sports because I've been doing this for so long that I've been able to appreciate greatness. But if even in the course of me watching your greatness, if I'm calling out some bullshit that you're doing, I don't mean I'm hating on you. I'm just saying.
Brandon, it's not about the stats, bro. That's the thing. It's not always about the stats. I do remember I was there too, Brandon. I remember Art Monk breaking all the records, but the dude we heard about as the best wide receiver until Jerry Rice definitively took over was Steve Largent. I'm the same age as you. You keep saying go check the numbers, but all right. So anyway, Steve says the one thing makes me happy about this wide receiver debate, there isn't a single Raven that we can even mention. Listen here, Steelers fan, there is a Raven that we can mention. You know who it is? Steve Smith Sr., homeboy. Yeah, take that. Number 8 all time in receiving yards. Beat it, Steve.
Steve
Smith. And he got your name. Take that.
Steve Smith for sure.
Right.
Dang,
take that.
Yep, that's crazy.
But yeah, so this was something I thought was a pretty cool little story and give us a break from the basketball a little bit while we wait for game 3 and let us talk some football, man. Damn, Edward, you couldn't even wait for me to say open the phone lines up? Damn, bro.
Oh, I thought my fault, Killer, my fault. I thought
you good, man.
Open the lines up, bro, because okay, so
Steve is a Raven, Steve. But go ahead, Edward. What you got, man?
Hey, so y'all not Calvin and Ice on this topic, man. I love this topic right here too.
Okay.
So, now, when it comes to Jamar Chase, I don't have a problem with his list. I mean, Cooper
I
Kupp
do. He's
was
on
that
drugs.
dude,
But go ahead.
Bruce, man, look, just because everybody doesn't agree with your list doesn't mean
It was the truth, though.
everybody's list is different, bro. Everybody's list is different. Now, when it comes to Megatron was that guy, but oh man, I think he broke one record. I think it was a regular season record that Jerry Rice had. He broke that record.
The receiving yards record, yeah.
Yeah, he did that, but I mean, I guess Megatron was that guy, you know what I'm saying? That he said, AB was that guy, but hey, CT is a hell of a, hey, he on CT.
Yeah, man, yeah. AB was a monster. I can't front on that. And I did say that, but go ahead.
Yeah, and then now with Jerry Rice, I mean, hey, Jerry Rice is
irrefutable,
Rice.
Right?
Yeah, irrefutable. Yeah. But mine is this right here. Oh, excuse me. So I have Chris Carter. Chris Carter does not get his love.
Agreed.
He's number 4.
That's fine.
Terrell Owens is number 3.
Okay.
He was a beast.
Yeah.
Jerry Rice is number 2.
Who's number 2?
Jerry Rice.
Oh, Rice.
Jerry Rice is Jerry Rice number 2, and I'm putting AB at number 1.
Oh God, freaking Steelers fans. Jesus Christ.
Hey,
okay.
And then for you to have Larry Fitzgerald over T.O., I mean,
I think there's an argument for it.
I mean, do you consider Larry Fitzgerald as the Tim Duncan of the NFL?
That's a great analogy. I like that. That's a great analogy. We can do that. Yeah.
Dang.
That works. That's a great analogy. That works. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Small media market, didn't really say a lot, just went out there and did the work. That's a great analogy, Edward. Best thing you said all night. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's better than those hot takes you and Ice was cooking.
We not. Thank you.
No, we're not doing that. No, we're not gonna do that. We're not gonna go there. And then hold on, let me also say this.
Yes, sir.
Look, man, he is a Carolina. He is not a Raven. No, we're not gonna do that, bro.
Hey,
no.
I got a question.
He's known for Carolina, not for a Raven.
Look him up on. All right, okay, all right.
No, I looked him up, Bruce. He played in our division, bro, the AFC North, man. So come on, bro.
He's a Raven.
Like, come on.
He's a Raven.
Bro, he's a Carolina. Bro, he got all his accolades.
He's a Raven.
Carolina.
He got the Raven attitude. He played like a Raven. He's a Raven.
Go!
He's a Raven.
Okay, yeah. But I mean, like, I just don't like it. You know what I'm saying? These lists, man, everybody's list is not going to be the same. Everybody has their right to their opinion. It's a fringe opinion or whatever, man. But yeah, man. And then DC guy, what was you said you didn't have one, did you?
No, I mean I agree with Bruce's list for the most part. I threw Art Monk on mine as a 5th to just crowd up the mountain. But tough, man.
Hey yo, man, I gotta watch YouTube for those guys. I'm sorry, I never heard of him.
Here we go. Wait, what?
I'm just keeping it real.
Hold on. Wait. Say that again.
Hey yo, man, I just gotta watch some highlights.
You never heard of Art Monk?
I heard of the Swan guy that played for Seattle who had the record over Jerry Rice. I heard of him.
You mean Steve Largent?
Steve Largent, yeah, Steve Largent. I'm sorry, guy. I was born in '86. What y'all want me to do?
You really starting to worry me, Edward.
Damn, '86. Yeah. You gotta look up some football.
Art Monk was a problem, an absolute problem.
The good news is NFL did a great job of preserving some of that old footage.
Yes.
Looks really good.
Well, I remember that. Now, did y'all have a problem with them leaving out Terrell Owens?
No, but I'm not mad at anybody who has Terrell Owens in there. Mount Rushmore.
They left out. I think I know what DC is talking about because I know they did a top for ever wide receivers and they left Terrell Owens out of it, but they put Larry Fitzgerald in there over him. It's because he was quiet, man. He didn't even have no issues off the field. None of that.
Squeaky clean joke.
Then Randy Moss had off the field issues, but hey, he was on. He was just likable. That's all that was.
Well, I mean, true indeed, but they played the same amount of time roughly, and I think Larry Fitzgerald got about 1,500 more receiving yards. It's a preference thing.
Bruce, but you just said to the guy that's in the chat, we're not talking about numbers though.
The numbers, though.
No. Well, remember what I said. Numbers is part of my evaluation. It's just not all of my evaluation. You got to listen to me all the way, man. What did I say? My evaluation is made up of 4 things, right? Statistics, winning, awards, eye test. You have to have all of those things, right? The amalgam of those things is my evaluation. You gotta listen to me, Edward.
Yeah, LeBron don't have none of that. But anyway,
oh my God, I ain't say. What is it with you and yo?
No. Hey, I let it go. We talk about football.
Please do.
But, okay. But yeah. So, but I'm like, man, come on. T.O. played with a broken. Was it a broken leg or
leg?
Play with a broken leg in the Super Bowl.
Crazy, bro.
You know what I'm saying? But man, I gotta put him over Larry Fitzgerald, and I'll put him over Cooper Kupp. But I think Jamar Chase, man, it's just the Cooper Kupp part that I was like, wow, you know.
It's wild. That's diabolical. Cooper Kupp.
Yeah, I mean, that's just youth, man. Youth is wasted on the young. That's what they say. That's the expression.
Speaking of youth, man, before we let the caller go, I'm going to chime in or jump in with Xavier Hernandez in the chat. He said, never seen him play, but you can't tell me some motherfucker named Art Monk was routing people up. Madden character ass name. Listen, man. Do
His name is Arthur Monk. That's why they call him Art, but
do yourself a favor, Xavier. Allow these spaces, man, to be that. You know what I mean? I know it was Xavier earlier today in the chat too, like, oh, hey, it's corny, blah, blah. Like, bro, these grades ain't painted on, bro. I earned this wisdom.
Facts.
Things. Facts. So, yo, the salt and pepper is heavy. The salt and pepper is really heavy on that panel. Shout out to my guy Sid Bubble too.
Hey, yo, Edward, you know what my uncle used to tell me when I called him old? He used to tell me, I'm not the only one Father Time is coming for. So I'm gonna say that to you now.
If you lucky.
No, I'm not hating on the salt and pepper, B. I'm not hating on that, bro. I mean, hey, it's a lot of it on the panel.
Okay.
That's all I can say.
It's a lot of wisdom too. Hold that.
Yeah, a lot of wisdom. I'm sure it is some wisdom and stress with it as well.
Yes.
But I'm gonna let y'all go, man. I'm gonna let somebody else call in. And
all right, brother. I appreciate it, man. Thank you for the call, Edward.
All right, DC.
Bro.
Hey, yo, Brandon, call back, man. I see you trying to get in, man. He gonna come with his Commanders love. Here we go with the Commanders and the Art Monk. Let's go. What up, Brandon? What you got?
Damn
man?
Right.
I know it.
Damn right at it, Elvis. First of all, let me go. I'm gonna go and be a man. I was wrong. He did break Steve Larder's record. What it was he broke Steve Larder's record of like 98, and he was the first receiver to go for 100 receptions in 1 year. That's what Art Monk did.
Okay.
As far as receiving yards, he was still only 1,000 less than Steve Larger. Less than Steve Larger. But at that time, he had the most receptions, and I believe it was most.
I remember it was like 800 and something. I remember.
Right, exactly. And so, with that said, multiple 1,000-yard seasons, multiple Super Bowls, and like Larry Fitzgerald, he actually was quiet. He wasn't one of them rah-rah receivers.
Correct.
I think that's why a lot of people don't give him the credit. So for me, I'm going to go with Jerry Rice, Art Monk, Randy Moss, and you're not going to go with my man Peyton's favorite target, Marvin Harrison. But you can't go wrong no other way about it. As far as receiver, didn't Michael Jackson play for y'all?
Who?
Michael Jackson? That's the best receiver in the Ravens history, bro. And that's a shame.
No. Anquan Bolden is the best receiver in Raven history. We don't win that 2013 chip without him. He got busy.
That's right. I forgot all about him and Torrey.
Torrey Smith. Yeah.
That just shows y'all need to get your man a receivers.
Here we go.
No, you do. I didn't know. Hey, you know you do.
Man, it'd be all right.
He got all the other tools, but you need a receiver, a real receiver.
But we could say that. But he's led the league in passing touchdowns before and passing yards now.
Imagine what he does if you actually get him a receiver.
Okay.
He might win the chip.
Man, yeah.
All he got to do is just elevate his. Anyway, we're not gonna. That's a whole different topic.
Get a real receiver. Bet you win the chip within 2 years.
Okay.
But anyway, the point being is, and it's just a point I wanted to make as far as like Jamar Chase. And this is not a shot at anybody, but it seems like today's younger generation of fans, if they haven't witnessed it, it's like they don't respect it or it didn't exist.
Yeah.
Like no one wants to be a student of the game anymore.
Nope.
You know, and that's why when I first saw Chase's list, I was like, is this dude on fentanyl, meth, or what? Is he just retarded?
He was on something.
Excuse my language. Is he just stupid? Because, like, bro, like, don't get it twisted. The other guys he named were good guys.
Right.
But, like, off the top of my head, I was like, I can name 4 or 5 guys better than that.
No, I'm with you. Yeah.
And that's just like, I'm sorry, I got to do it, Bruce, before I go. That guy in your chat room, Xavier Hernandez, talking about Bird wouldn't have been able to hold his own against LeBron.
Oh, no, please. Yes, thank you.
I'm going to leave it alone. I'm just going to say that's a topic for another day. That was disrespectful.
Yeah, well, what are you going to do, right?
Yeah. Let's get back to boxing. Look.
All right, brother. I appreciate the call, fam.
We're done, bro.
All right. Somebody else was trying to get through it. Was that Chief?
Bruce, apparently you need to invite Gen Z on the panel too, bro, for balance. You know what I'm saying? Xavier.
Oh, is that what that's what we got to do?
Yeah, Xavier Hernandez said
okay. Maybe we'll need to do that one of these days. Steve, what's going on, man?
What up, Bruce? What up, Q?
What up, brother?
Not much, man. Shout out, Q. I like how you handled that call from our boy, the honey pouring.
We're not doing that. We're talking football, man. We're talking football. Let's keep it there.
I just had to give him a little shout out.
All right, Steve. Okay.
I'm done.
All right, thank you.
Behave.
Thank you. Wide receivers.
But, and yes, Q, we can beat up young people for saying stupid shit. You're being too nice.
Fuck them.
You're being too nice.
Wide receivers, Steve. Wide receivers.
Fuck them kids, Steve. Always barbecue. You know what I'm saying?
Cooper Kupp. That's some dumb shit. Come on. Cooper Kupp.
Agreed.
That's ridiculous. That's blasphemy.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Yes.
So, yeah,
correct.
We can bully. We need to bring bullying back. We need to make bullying a thing again. We need to bully young people when they say dumb shit and make them feel dumb, because that's the only way to correct such stupid behavior when you publicly say something so stupid. Cooper Kupp is crazy. That's crazy work.
It is crazy work.
Not the last thing. I want to give my Mount Rushmore. There is no way that you can sit here, Bruce, and say Steve Smith is a Raven. This is crazy.
You know what's funny? I'm sitting here, in all seriousness, looking at the NFL receiving yards career leaders, right? On Pro Football Reference, and it has their pictures across the top, and it has Steve Smith in a Ravens jersey. But I'm just saying. Anyway.
Maybe that's probably because that was the most recent team he played for. Are you going to call Anquan Bolden a Raven too?
Yep, sure am.
Oh God, Bruce, come on!
Got his chip with us.
That is the most cheap way to make a claim.
Anyway, sure am.
I don't have Twizzler here to disagree with, but I'm sure if he gave his Mount Rushmore, if he's listening, just know I disagree with your Mount Rushmore receivers, Twizzler, and mine is the correct one, which is obviously Jerry Rice is 1.
Yes.
Randy Moss is 2. Theo is 3.
No.
And Calvin is 4.
No.
It has to be.
It's Jerry Rice, Randy Moss, Larry Fitzgerald, Marvin Harrison Sr.
Now, I have nothing against Larry or Marvin. Okay. I'm just saying, pound for pound, the most dominant guys that ever lined up, it's the 4 I named.
Do you have giant?
Great. Larry was great. But we're talking could run every single route and dominate in every possible way on a route tree. It's Rice, Moss, Theo, and Calvin. There's nothing you could do to stop those guys.
I mean, was there anything you could do to stop Marvin Harrison Sr.?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I don't recollect seeing that, but okay.
If Peyton threw to Reggie Wayne, that would stop him.
Really?
I'm just saying. I had to come up with something.
Oh, okay. Just checking. Okay. All right.
I'll be honest. Reggie was great.
He was.
This is what I would say. The 2 undisputed that I don't think you can argue.
Okay.
Is Rice and Moss. After those 2, then I do agree. Like there becomes a debate.
Yeah.
I would grant the longevity or lack thereof of Calvin would go against my argument for Calvin.
Mm-hmm.
But the way you would argue for AD is the way you would argue for Calvin. It's like, yeah, it wasn't a 10, 12-year career, but like for a 5-6 year stretch, it's like you really can't name anybody that was doing that.
So, and I agree. And I think you're 100% right on that. And I'll say to the other point, you mentioned Marvin Harrison Sr. I wouldn't be mad, and I think Q said this, if you took out Marvin Harrison Sr. and put in Chris Carter. Like, that's very fair. You know what I'm saying? So that's why this is a wonderful argument, this wide receiver thing. So
two guys from that era that don't get the proper respect. One is Chris Carter and the other is Tim Brown. And I'm not saying that as a Notre Dame fan.
Right.
Tim Brown was an elite. I mean, he was like top 3 in the records for a long time until this new wave of the passing game came about.
True.
But Tim Brown and Chris Carter were kind of known as 2 and 3 behind Rice.
That's right.
Once we got into the 90s.
Mm-hmm. You know who we didn't even bring up?
Was a little bit before them, and Margin, obviously, but that was like the top 3 when I remember growing up watching heavy in the 90s. It was always Rice, Carter, Tim Brown.
You know who we didn't even bring up, Steve? In fairness, Isaac Bruce
or Holt.
Right. There's a lot of and that's the thing.
A lot of guys.
Yeah, this is a wonderful discussion to have. That's why
It's not like the running back one where it's like there's kind of a concrete top 5, 10 guys that you can steal. I don't know if it's as diverse with running back, but with receiver, once you get past like 3 or 4, it's like, man, there's a lot of guys. You really
start having a discussion.
It comes down to preference.
Absolutely.
Which one day we will have this running back argument, and I will prove to you and justify LaDainian Tomlinson being a top 5 all-time back.
Adrian Peterson.
But that's another one there's nothing against AP. Nothing against AP.
It's my preference, Steve.
I
love AP, man. He's an animal. But different discussion.
I can't disagree with that. He was a bulldozing style, but he was a one-dimensional type guy, which there's nothing wrong with that. He was great.
I'm okay with that.
He's basically LeBron James of running back. He's like, this is what you get. This is all it is. He's really great at it.
That's
but there's no diversity to his bag. LP had a bag, bro. And LP was more productive in less years.
He had lateral quickness and everything. Special.
Was he a better running back, though? He was a more complete running back. Was he a better runner? You see what I'm saying?
The pure rushing numbers would definitely conclude that LaDainian was a better running back.
Well,
it took AP like an extra 4 or 5 years going to other teams as like 1-year deal to be where he is in the top. Tomlinson played 10 years?
11.
He's like 11, and he was top. He might be like top 6 or 7 now. He might be like 7th all time.
Right.
But the touchdown number. Listen, get the ball in the end zone. I would even argue Tomlinson was a better goal line back than Peterson.
All right, we'll have this discussion another time. Let's hold off on that.
I found a way to change the subject.
You're good at that.
That's what I do.
Yes,
that's what I do. I didn't wait for the grand finale. I brought it early tonight.
Yes, you did.
But anyway, I'll let you guys keep it rolling.
No doubt, man. Appreciate the call, Steve.
Hey, shout out to both. Blessings both, man. Blessings to you both.
Thank you, brother. Same to you, man. Same to you.
Thank you.
All right. I think that was it. All right, let's go ahead and let's get to the last topic, y'all. And that is Lamar Jackson. And this will be a brief one. My bad. Let me change the overlay. Okay. So Lamar Jackson, we know I think we can make an argument. He may be right there, top 3 most physically talented quarterbacks ever, I think. We know that there was a lot of debate when he was coming out. You had people saying ignorant things like he should go be a safety, he should be a receiver, he should play other positions, and he refused. He didn't run the 40 at the combine. Shout out to him. Kudos. He knew how fast he was. And when he got the opportunity to take over as starting quarterback, he didn't look back, and he has just been tearing the record books apart ever since, right? Lamar Jackson, obviously, he's all-time leading rusher among quarterbacks in NFL history. I mean, he's got a ton of records. Let's see, Lamar Jackson career NFL records. But what impresses me about him more so is when you watch Lamar Jackson, now he is able to completely tear anybody apart from the pocket. Like, he's had seasons leading the league in touchdown passes. He just set another record this past season with I think the least interceptions in a season with 4,000 passing yards. Like, Lamar is just doing it all. He's an absolute machine. And he wins. He wins a great deal. He's 70-24. That's his record as a starter, which is insane. He's passed for, more than 20,000 passing yards and 166 touchdowns, and has rushed for 33 touchdowns and 7,100 plus yards on the ground. So, like, it doesn't even make sense what the dude is doing, right? It really is that crazy. But the biggest issue is what? His play drops off precipitously when he goes into the playoffs. And that's just unfortunate, right? He gets like double the turnovers, and he is not a guy that turns the ball over a lot. And as such, he hasn't been able to get the Ravens to the promised land of the Super Bowl, much less win one, right? So before I get to the main thing I wanted to talk about briefly in this topic, I wanted to get your thoughts, Q, on Lamar Jackson. Obviously, I know you're not a Ravens fan, being a Commanders guy, but what are your thoughts on Lamar, man, and what he's been able to do?
Yeah, so Lamar's maturity, like over the last couple of years, bro, has been remarkable to watch. You know what I mean?
Agreed. Yes,
so
sir.
Like I said, I stopped kind of, you know, my especially because, you know what I mean, the Redskins, man, just sucked for so many years.
Mm-hmm.
It forced me to take this giant step back from fan dream to just really appreciating and enjoying the game of football, you know what I mean, as a whole. And so I remember when Lamar, you know what I mean, like came in and relied on the legs a lot, you know what I mean, like before plays could break down, he was already, you know, kind of looking to do things. So I've watched his maturity over time, and like you said, for him to develop into more of a, you know, develop that comfort in the pocket, making the right plays and hanging in there to make, you know what I mean, the right plays, and he's become more efficient as well. It's definitely been remarkable to watch, man. The dude is a beast, man. You know what I mean? Like, and literally do it all and do it he's got a bag, bro, a deep bag as a quarterback, because he can get it done and, you know, help the team in a multitude of different ways with his legs or with his arm, playing traditional quarterback role, you know what I mean, or even hurry up, you know what I mean. So he's a beast with it. He's beast mode for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, he's been a problem. Edward is asking, is Lamar Jackson the James Harden of the NFL? And I think that's iffy. I don't know if I can do yes or no on that. That's iffy, but I would say maybe there's a fair argument for that. It's a fair argument for that. So let me just give some real quick. Let me give some of Lamar's records. First quarterback with multiple 1,000-yard rushing seasons. First quarterback with 700 plus yards rushing seasons in a career. First player with 3,000 passing yards and 1,000 rushing yards in a season. First player with 4,000 passing yards, 800 rushing yards in a season. First player to throw for 300 plus yards and rush for 100 plus yards in the same playoff game. First player to register 2 rushing touchdowns, 2 passing touchdowns, 100 rushing yards, and 100 passer rating in a game. Most rushing yards by a quarterback in a career. And he's not even halfway through his career. Most rushing yards by a quarterback in a season. Most rushing attempts by a quarterback in a season. Most 100-yard rushing games by a quarterback in a season. Most career 100-yard plus rushing games by a quarterback. Most seasons rushing for 800 plus yards by a quarterback. Most 100-yard rushing games by a quarterback in a postseason. Most games with a perfect passer rating, tied with Ben Roethlisberger and Peyton Manning, right? To me, that's the most impressive thing, is how he is able to throw the football at this point. Most wins by a quarterback under the age of 25. Youngest quarterback to ever start a playoff game. Youngest quarterback to ever achieve a perfect passer rating. Highest completion percentage in a game when attempting more than 40 passes.
Wow.
Like, he's got it all. He's got it all. He just needs to get over the hump, right? Yeah, go ahead.
No, I say he's a complete package for sure. That's why I say I've enjoyed kind of watching him mature, his game mature in the season, not just solely about the legs. because when they said, "Oh, he's just kind of run heavy, run specific," he's like, "All right, I'll play in the pocket." You know what I mean? And still get it done with the legs when it's necessary. But he proved to be a pocket passer as well, an effective pocket passer, bro. The dudes
right.
have the season where he, you know what I mean, like had an astronomical amount of touchdowns in one season, 27 or whatever he said. It's like crazy. It's like, man, this dude's he's complete.
Yeah, he is. Absolutely. So the reason I brought him up and wanted to just do this topic, and this is just a brief thing I wanted to touch on, but first we had to give him his flowers because boy, does he deserve them. That said, he's got to get it done in the postseason for as talented as he is, 2-time MVP. You know, maybe some people think he could have been a 3-time MVP, so be it, but he's got to get it done more so in the postseason. But here's the deal. This I thought was really interesting. With the arrival of Aaron Rodgers in Pittsburgh, Lamar Jackson is now the only projected starting quarterback in the AFC North that has not played in the Super Bowl. That's what I was like, yo, wait a minute. That's crazy, right? So obviously January, Joe Flacco in Cleveland. He won the Super Bowl 2013 for those same Ravens. So he counts. Joe Burrow in Cincinnati. 4 years ago, he went to the Super Bowl with the Bengals and, took the Chiefs, who did they play? Took the Rams to the limit. And if not for a Superman played by Aaron Donald on the very last play of the game, Joe Burrow has a championship with Cincinnati. And then, of course, Aaron Rodgers won a title with Green Bay. So now Lamar Jackson, the only quarterback in the AFC North that does not have a Super Bowl appearance. Very, very interesting. Chief, it's not about Chief said, Bubba, it's not about complaining that he was acting on power. That's not it, right? Bruce out here giving me a bad name. It's not about complaining he was acting on power. It's about, I'm one of those people, like remember we were talking about Cam Ward last night. I'm one of those people believes until you get to the mountaintop, everything, obviously God comes first, right? God and family. But other than that, everything should be focused on mastering your craft until you get to the mountaintop. So you are elite of the elite player, but you haven't gotten the job done yet. So F power, don't worry about that. Power going to be there. Maybe it's not, but you'll have another opportunity to do something else, man. You should be out there throwing with somebody or on the freaking, whatever it is that quarterbacks do, whatever drills they doing, whatever film they should be watching, that's what you should be doing until you win a chip. That's how I am. It's not about complaining that he was on power. It's about until you win, that should be your main focus is winning. God, family, and then whatever your craft is, master that. And that's how I see it. But yeah, so I just wanted to bring that up. I thought it was crazy that he is now the only projected starting quarterback in the division who has not gone to a Super Bowl. Your thoughts on that, Q?
I think I agree with Steve. Was Steve just on the last call that said they got to get him some wide receiver help, bro?
That was Brandon, yeah.
Oh, Brandon. I know it was one of the last few calls that we had, but yeah, they got to get, and I know that he's effective as we're talking about his efficiency at doing the thing, right? So he's whoever's in front of him or whoever's lined up on that side of the field with him, he's gonna get the ball to him. But imagine somebody with some real hands, bro, and some real ability. You know what I mean?
Well, so my thing is this, and don't get me wrong, I'm a Ravens fan. I would love to see, get the guy some more weapons. But if he's been able to do all of this without weapons, like how much more does he need? Again, this guy just keeps coming up, but it's like the LeBron thing. Like, how much more do you need? Get the damn job done. You're inhuman as it is.
I'm saying give him weapons. And I mean, you know what I mean? Like, because there were a couple. Is it a game? Am I misremembering? A drop pass in the red zone.
Mark Andrews, last year.
That's what I'm saying. Get him some weapons, bro, because he's doing his part with his legs and with his arm to get his team in position and to have his team there.
And they gave him Derrick Henry, and Zay Flowers was a Pro Bowler last year. And they're in good shape. They got a good tight end core. They're in good shape. Now, can you always tweak it and get a little better? Yes. And they brought in DeAndre Hopkins. Yeah, he's older now, but they're in good shape. Like, come on, man.
Let's say I like Zay. DeAndre, we can upgrade there. You know what I'm saying? But I'm saying the Zay Flowers, as a teammate, I like. But
I don't know why they didn't try to get what's the name? DeAndre, not DeAndre Hopkins. The guy that was with the Jets, Aaron Rodgers' boy. I don't know why they didn't try to get him.
Oh,
you know what I'm talking about. Came from the Raiders, went to the Jets, would play with Aaron Rodgers.
Can't think of his name, but I can see him.
Yeah, I can see him with the dreads and everything.
Yeah.
Somebody tell me who that was. Wide receiver was in Green Bay first, then went to the Raiders, then went to the Jets to play with Aaron Rodgers, and then the Jets released him. I cannot remember his name for the life of me.
Like me either.
Right, sorry about that, y'all. But the point is,
yeah, just come on weapons because, like I say, clearly.
Thank you, Devontae Adams.
Yeah, Devontae Adams. Yeah, from his body of work, you can see his improvement. You know what I mean? Year over year over year. And it takes a while sometimes for players to break through. You know, so maybe
that's true too.
I think maybe last year we were thinking it was being said. You know, over the last 2 seasons, especially, the expectation was that he would finally have the breakthrough here in the Ravens.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like it's close, but I know weapons help. You know what I mean? Especially a guy as powerful at that position as him. You know, teams, franchises dream of having this kind of a guy at the helm. You know what I'm saying? Weapons, bro.
Now, listen, I'm not averse to it. I'm just saying, like, you got a lot, and you got an elite defense. Like, so I get you with the weapons thing, but more than once, the Ravens in Lamar Jackson's tenure, more than once, the Ravens have led the league in Pro Bowlers and All Pros. So it's not like he hasn't had a really good supporting cast around him. But I do understand what you're saying.
Yeah, I get it. Because I just know that there are weapons on teams with far lesser, you know what I mean, like quarterback leadership. If a guy like him, man, gets, I mean, it'll just make his job a whole lot easier.
Right.
Is he still going to compile the yards? Is he still going to compile the stats and break the records? Like he'll do all that.
Probably. He's a freak.
But that's what I'm saying. But then at least he has weapons that almost have sure hands, and they're not making the little blunders and, you know, wide receivers drop passes, man. We know that. You know,
I remember they brought him Steve Smith Sr. and he was doing work, but then he blew out his Achilles in that last season. So it's not like they haven't tried to get the guy weapons. So we gotta stop acting like that. They've tried.
I'm not saying that they haven't gotten the many. I'm just saying around that kid with weapons while he's still, you know, you know what I mean? Like you get the most value out of what he's doing right now. That's all I'm saying. I haven't made attempts to do it, but I want to see him get over the hump because, you know, even like I said, just as my Redskins, man, were just doing horribly. I've just been, I guess that quote unquote DMV thing too. I don't necessarily root for the Ravens, but
right.
They're close enough to home for me to still pay attention. But just as a football fan, I would like to see, I was happy when, you know what I mean, the Ray Lewis, you know what I mean, led Ravens won Super Bowls and stuff like that. So it's cool for me to see the team do well. You know what I'm saying? So I want to see Lamar get over the hump so he's not, you know what I mean? Like he just kind of gets that monkey off his, you know what I mean? That stigma. Yeah. No doubt. It was stacked against him prior to him coming in, or, you know, shit was shoveled on his name, etc., man. So yeah, I'd like to see him get that monkey off his back, man, just so he could be like, I told y'all so.
I hear you. Listen, as a Ravens fan, I would love to see it. So I'm with you. I'm just like, you know, I think he's good enough to get it done even without that. So that's my thought.
Yeah. I mean, it definitely remains to be seen, but I would like to see it. So I'm excited. Let's just say, you know, to this point, and I'm glad that you have the balance or the wherewithal to have balance throughout your shows, bro, because I don't think I have been this excited for a NFL season to start, bro, that I have.
Yeah.
And it's because my scans are, you know what I mean, like looking real good. Stuff we've made through, you know, like OTAs and stuff that have been happening over the last couple of weeks. I'm paying attention to that stuff, man. You know what I mean? I'm like a teenager all over again, bro. Just excited for this, you know, off season to continue to progress, but obviously for the new season to start, man. So this NFL season is gonna be everything, bro. I was literally, this is always last week of January, right? When there's no more football and we're waiting on the Super Bowl to come. I was legit heartbroken this year, bro, when football was done. I was texting my buddy.
Right.
Ain't no Thursday night game, bro. It's no Saturday football. It's no Sunday football. Like, there's no football, bro. Like,
that's how me and Transformer are. Like, we literally sitting here itching on some smoke rocks, waiting for football to come back. Yeah, we hurt. College football, pro football, all of it needed bad.
It's coming. Yeah, it's coming for sure. But yeah, man, we'll see what Lamar, if Lamar can get himself in that conversation, or at least, you know what I mean, like in that status, so make an appearance at least. I do not see why they couldn't do it. You know what I mean? Football is any given Sunday kind of a deal, bro. It's matchup, it's injuries, you know what I mean, happening at the Saints, or overcoming injuries, etc. I know from being a Redskins fan last year, sometimes it's just the ball bouncing your way, you know what I mean? A play or two here or there. So, you know what I mean? Like, it is what it is.
Yeah, no, agreed. So, yeah, that was the last topic. I think we're going to leave it right there. I'm not even going to open up the lines. We just wanted to touch on that one. So I'm going to leave it right there. And thanks, everybody, for joining us tonight. We appreciate it. It's been a good show. Didn't expect it to be that lively, but, that's sometimes it goes that way, and that's always a good thing, man. So I appreciate the love. I appreciate the support. Appreciate the super chats. Let me see. It's not that serious. And Chief Sid Bubba, thank you guys so much for your support. Here we go. Okay, I got to take this one.
No.
What's up, B? What's going on?
How you gonna talk about Lamar Jackson and you knew I was going? Don't you ever in your life do that, boy? How the hell you gonna talk about my man? Goddamn, I was sitting back watching like a killer that I am in the cut, watching all the bullshit you talking about tonight.
I didn't even know you were there. So you was waiting like a sniper. You was ready to take me out.
I'm like ninja. I'm a big boy, but I'm like a ninja in the cut. You better believe that.
You coming up out?
No doubt. I didn't even know you were there.
I was laid back. I was busy, but I was like, yeah, I'm gonna call it Lamar. I'm a big. I ain't listening to the bullshit he talking about. Yeah, you go on about LeBron and all that, but I ain't gonna get to all. I'm talking about my man number 8.
Okay.
Hey, bro, you can't do that, bro, because he had a little short. He had a little cameo in Power. Yo, he posed a lock in. This is free time, Bruce. What are you talking about? He's too militant.
Okay.
Oh, he put the lock for 2. He wins. He can't. He shouldn't be. What do you probably been in the house in the corner studying in dad playbook?
Yep. Yes, Bruce. Yes.
Listen, if he has a business opportunity, understand what I'm saying, to make some money for him and his family and build his portfolio during his off season, during his off time, what's the issue with that? But you want to be old, stern, Brucey, Sergeant Hope, or you don't deserve to do nothing else till you win the ring. I mean, goddamn, Bruce. Cut him a break, brother.
I just want him to win so bad, Bruce. I want him to win so bad, man.
Hey, Bruce, okay.
No, Bruce, you're right, man. You're right. I just want him to win so bad, man. You're right. No,
I'm going to say this, Paul. Stop busting my man balls, man.
Right. I just want him to win so bad. Bruce, real talk. I just want him to win so bad, man.
Stop that, Bruce. You can't be a stern parent every goddamn time. Talking about you shouldn't be on no power and all that until you get it done. You should be focusing on family, God, and getting it. I mean, goddamn, Bruce, it's off season, Bruce.
Oh man, look, man. I'm just saying, man. When it was the off season, Tom Brady was studying. That's why he won.
Okay, so Tom Brady ain't never been in no movies, excluding.
I didn't say that.
Excluding, he already had rings already. Okay, that's fine. But still, he's been in movies.
Yes, he has. But you got to win.
Man, goddamn, Brian, stop being a stern daddy, man. You're going to punish yourself for every little thing, man.
Nah, actually, I don't. My son don't get in trouble a lot. But I hear what you're saying.
Listen. Then you acting all scared, talking about, you should go back and think Lamar is the only quarterback in the AFC North that hasn't won a Super Bowl.
No, that hasn't been to a Super Bowl.
Never been to a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And like my main man, the moderator, opinion stated said, he got to get some guys to hold on to the ball in the goddamn postseason.
Try and tell him,
Goddamn, I don't mean to go to listen. I don't mean to go to the divisional. That's what this is crazy. You put the subject up. I watched all the regular games from last year on replay joint.
Okay.
Actually, this is my first time rewatching. I watched the divisional last night again.
Okay.
Oh my God, man, this is so gut wrenching. Mark Andrews, he lost us the game. I don't give a goddamn how many turnovers. What you call him had.
No, but you can't do that. You can't say that though.
He had 3 drops. That was crucial moments of the game. We've been through this 1,000 times. Even in the first quarter, when he had a first down pass, went through his hands. The next play, LeBron from the football guards was on Buffalo's side. The next play, Lamar fumbled. Prior to the play, when Lamar fumbled, Mark Andrews dropped the goddamn pass for a first down. We was like on the 30-yard, 35-yard line on their end. Then the very next play, Lamar fumbled. See what I'm saying?
Bruce, listen. I'm not.
Them next up boys go. I don't mean to hold you. How y'all feeling tonight?
We're doing all right, man. We're doing all right.
We say, stop the militant shit now. You should be able to deserve to do anything because
Gotta win first. Gotta win first.
Locked in the cave with the playbook and the thousands of hours of film.
I need it bad, man. Pause. I need him to win so bad, man.
I like that. See, he came on late. Now you've been working, son. You've been working.
You know what? I literally was because like when I listen to all my podcasts and stuff, I get different ideas. And so I got a notepad on my phone. I just write the ideas down. And I had like 6 different ideas. And I was like, damn, I don't think this is going to wait till Wednesday. I just need to go ahead and do it. So, I think Transformer Wife is on vacay. So, he tied up. So I hit my man Q. I say, yo, Q, you want to rock? Q said, I'm rocking. Let's go. And you know what I'm saying? We made it happen.
I like it. You must just bored, man.
Nah, I'm not bored.
But I like this. You working late night. That's why I get time for long.
Trying to do something, man. I appreciate it, man.
Hey, man. Hey, I think you said it. How you doing, brother?
Doing good, B. What's good, man? How you feeling?
Man, I'm feeling good. Bruce brought me off the show since I was debate. I ain't been on since then. It's been about 4 or 5 months.
You know what? No. You know what, Bruce? Real talk. Like a lot of times when I do these, it's like a last minute thing. And I feel like I can't call you if I didn't give you enough time. You know what I'm saying? That's why. It's not that I don't want you on.
A little bit more off control the football season. It's all great.
You know we're going to do it, man. You going to be back. Don't worry about that.
Even if I don't do the whole show, I'll probably pop on like on the subject about the Ravens and pop back out.
No doubt. We'll get it popping, man. Don't worry about that. I got you.
Hey, man, when you stay there, man, have a great night. Hey, Bruce, I had to catch you, man. Don't talk. Leave my man ain't alone. Let my man live, man.
No doubt, brother. No doubt, man. No doubt.
Oh, y'all boys have a great night, man.
Hey, you too. Thanks for the support, brother.
All right, bro.
All right, man. I didn't even know Bruce was there, man. I was getting ready to hang it up, man. I should have known he would be there.
He lurking in the alley, you know what I'm saying?
Lurking. My man hit me like a sniper. Oh man, but listen, y'all. Once again, thanks so much for joining. We just shorted 3 hours. We're gonna kill it right here. I'm gonna go get some sleep, man. It's 1 o'clock in the morning on the East Coast. Damn, gotta go crash out. Yeah. I'm not even gonna go try to get a workout. It's too late for that. But y'all continue to support, man. Continue to share the pod, get it out there to other people. And again, we appreciate y'all. Q, thank you so much for taking time out of your schedule to join me, man. Really appreciate you. Had a great time tonight, man.
Yeah, for sure, brother. Y'all like that video on the way out, man.
Yeah, definitely. Like and subscribe. If you haven't subscribed, I know Xavier Hernandez, man. I don't think you've been here before. Hit that button, man. Appreciate y'all. So we're gonna leave it there and we out. Peace.